Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cashback really adds up.
Your weekly dose of romance and drama has arrived. Season 29 of The Bachelor is here, and Grant Ellis, certified hottie and former day trader, is trading his day job on Wall Street for a second chance at everlasting love. New episodes drop every Monday at 8/7 Central, bringing you fresh twists in Grant's journey to find his soulmate. This self-proclaimed mama's boy is all grown up and ready to invest his heart. Will his playful charm win over the house full of hopefuls, or will the competition prove too intense? From heartfelt moments to adrenaline-pumping dates, each week brings new surprises in the mansion. Will Grant find his perfect match or end up with a broken heart? Tune in every Monday at 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu for new episodes of The Bachelor.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another incredibly weird edition of Crime and Sports. As always, hope you've enjoyed the last few weeks. Kabani Savage. We've never had anybody with 12 murders. We've had 4. Yeah. We've had Anthony Smith had 4. You know, we've had...
We ever have anybody commuted 2 hours before their show started?
Probably not. That was I think we got in on right at the right cusp on that one there. So this week, again, we're going to start, I believe this will be a 2-parter here. And she's had quite the life, so we'll talk about it. We're going to talk about Chyna this week. So
terrific.
It's a lot to get into. Before we do get into that, though, another thing you should get into is come and see us live.
Here we go.
Small Town Murder Live 2025. The whole tour is set right now. Check it out. Shutupandgivememurder.com is where you get your tickets, and they are available. Tickets, especially February 7th, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Get your asses in there.
Yeah.
Come on. I know it's Super Bowl weekend, but let's be honest
fans,
here.
Penguins fans, let's get after it.
You think Russell Wilson's going to take them there, guys? I don't think so. So let's be honest here, and let's just say call Super Bowl weekend a loss and come see us instead. How about that? It's on Friday, and then Columbus, we're there the next night, so check that out.
You know what? Here's something. I hope they make it.
That's great, too. I don't care. I like the Steelers.
If they do, it's 2 days later. Who gives a shit?
Who cares?
Let's go.
Jesus Christ. I get that you only want to drink once that weekend, but it's Pittsburgh. You can drink more. It's February. Don't worry about it. You're wearing a big coat. No one will see it.
Yeah. You deserve it.
It's all
Let's
good.
Go.
Shutupandgivememurder.com is where you get all of that. Also, Patreon, you definitely want to get. Patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you get all of your bonus material. Anybody $5 a month or above, you get everything. You get hundreds of back episodes you've never heard before of bonus stuff, and then you get new ones every other week. One Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder. This week, what you're going to get for Crime and Sports, we're going to talk about Travis Rudolph. Who was an NFL player very recently. This was he played in like 2017, 18. A lot of violence following this guy around. Wow. And then he just finished up a murder trial where he was on trial for murder. And we won't tell you how it came out because that'll kind of ruin the episode. So check that out. It's wild stuff, man. Yeah. Crazy shit. And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to do the West Memphis 3 Part 2 and figure out why the hell these guys ended up there. Yeah.
I mean...
It's crazy, but a lot of...
What a terrible thing to say about such an awful experience.
A lot of weirdness going on there. But it's crazy to just talk about Arkansas in 1993 and, how the justice system worked. It was a little weird. So, yeah, that's patreon.com/crimeinsports. And you get a shout-out at the end of the show. Jimmie will go ahead and fuck your name up for you at the end of the show there. That said, let's dive right into this here with our Lady of the Week, which, we don't get a lot of ladies on the show. Yeah. Just a lot less lady athletes, who, especially ones that fuck up.
Yeah.
Usually girls that play sports when they're younger and then they grow up and women that play sports, they're usually like pretty straight-laced.
Yeah, or assaulted, and that's why they're messed up.
Oh, one of the two, yeah. But otherwise, they're usually pretty straight-laced. You don't hear a lot of those WNBA chicks getting in trouble a lot. It's just, it's just women get in trouble less than men. They do less crazy shit than men. So and then there's less female athletes, so we don't get that many. This week, though, we have Chyna, who is Joan Marie Laurer,
right?
Laurer, Laurer, Laurer,
right? Chyna with a Y.
Chyna with a Y. Yes, Chyna is. I was like, Laura is no Y in there. No.
There's no Y's, Whisman. What are you doing?
What are you talking about?
You're a real bad speller, Jimmie.
Chyna with a Y. And, old Joan here. Man, we'll talk about her. She's one of it's just like a sad tale.
Yeah. And they called her Joanie, right?
Joanie, yeah. That's what her friends all called her and everything. Yeah. But so it's a sad tale because she's like, she's messed up. It's obvious. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's not all there.
She's got some mental issues, yeah.
She's got some issues, and you mix drugs in with those issues, and oh man, do you get
that's a problem.
Quite the cocktail there. And then you mix in steroids and recreational drugs and mental illness all together.
And then showbiz and force that person to be a star.
It's a lot, man. That's
a lot of pressure.
A lot of mental shit that can go on there. So Joanie was born December 27th, 1969. In Rochester, New York.
Yeah.
Unlucky Joanie.
What a place.
not terrific there. That's where she's born, to her parents, Janet and Joe. Yeah. Joe, Janet, Joanie.
Jesus.
She's got a brother and a sister, and neither of them have J names.
Really?
No, Kathy and Sonny. Neither of them have J names, so I don't know what they were doing there. They gave up. They were like, this is crazy, right? Janet, Joe, Joanie, we got to fix this.
We can't do this anymore.
Either that or they didn't even realize they did it. That's also possible. I'm not sure. So, yeah.
And how tall did she end up being? She's like 6'2", right? That's a big girl.
No, she's only 5'10".
Is that right?
Yeah, she's only 5'10". But, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's still a big girl. It's still a tall girl, but she's not like 6'2". She's not like, what's her name that we just talked about?
Nicole Bass.
Nicole Bass. She's not like that, who's actually, that's a big fucking person.
She was big. Yeah.
No, Joanie's not that big. She's 5'10". So when you see her in other things, though, she doesn't look as big.
Huh.
Because, I mean, wrestling, number one, a lot of it's shot from either below or above. Yeah. So it's kind of like the sizes are skewed a little bit. Mm-hmm. And also, wrestling boots, you probably had 2-inch lift on those bad boys, too. You're going to get, that'll make her 6 feet tall. Mm-hmm. You're going to look bigger. Also, you're oiled up under the lights.
Yeah.
You just tend to look bigger, especially if you're a woman. The guys who are not that big but still pretty big look tiny.
Yeah.
Like Shawn Michaels, everybody always thought was tiny.
Yeah.
He's like 6'2". He's a big guy. He's a fucking big guy. Like if you saw him in the store, you'd be like, hey, it's a big fucking guy. And
she had long black hair, which, I don't know, long hair makes people look tall too because
that'll help.
Length, you know what I mean? All that length is like, Jesus, look how much there is.
Yeah, and I think with her too, she was so jacked that it was like you didn't even think about her height. She was just a big chick here. Apparently the kids here, the Laurer children, were not very close with their parents. She had a weird kind of a rough upbringing here. They're on welfare the whole time she's a kid.
No.
Oh yeah, bouncing from one shitty apartment to the
Rochester.
next. Yeah. Fuck. One shitty Rochester apartment after another on welfare is rough.
I mean, you're already in Rochester. That's got
bad enough.
Welfare in the first place.
You could be rich in Rochester. It doesn't matter. You're still in Rochester. You're still in geographical welfare. Or welfare. Geographical welfare, that is. Just living there. So twice a year, Janet's mom and dad drove. This is, I guess, the Janet's parents, her mother. So this is Joanie's grandparents, would drive the grandkids to Sears to buy them clothes.
Twice a year.
3 outfits each for all of them.
Okay.
That was that. So that's what they got every year. So that was twice a year. So 6 outfits each.
That's not even... Yeah, that's not even a full school week.
That's barely covering it. And that was like the new clothes. So for a girl that grows fast too, that's rough. She did free lunch program at school because they were very poor, that sort of thing. She said that apparently some neighbors once in a while would like donate groceries to them because they had no food because there's 3 kids. So it's tough, man. Dad, the problem mainly is dad. Dad's a big alcoholic and a gambler, so that's not great.
Is he drinking and gambling the family's food away?
He's drinking and gambling their food stamps away, which is not wonderful. You can't.
We needed shoes,
dude. You got to pick a fucking vice if you're gonna be poor. You can pick a vice. You can't do multiple vices. You can't be a drunken gambler. It's not going to work. You can't afford either
drunk
one.
Is expensive enough, right?
Plus, if you get drunk, you're going to gamble more stupidly. So that's also dumb. It's just not great. And apparently, also the dad Joe would cheat all the time on Janet, and then disappear for a week at a time. That was pretty normal. So not a very, very great, stable place. Then she also said that when Dad would get home from being out gambling, drinking, cheating, doing whatever he was doing, he would often beat the shit out of Janet in front of the children, which is also excellent and a great role model and a wonderful, wonderful example to set for your daughters as far as what should be, inflicted upon you and for your son too, as far as a model of how to be. Not great at all, obviously. That's bad. The sister Kathy said she remembered one really bad episode, a drunken night here, when her father chased her mother through the apartment with a butcher knife, stabbing her in the leg. This is like New Jack's origin story. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm shocked she didn't stab people and shit growing up. This is wild. So as the police led him away, she recalled Joe took off his wedding ring and threw it in the yard.
Wow.
I'm done with. How dare you get upset that I'm beating you and stabbing you?
I'm out.
I'm out of this shit. So, her parents finally did get a divorce when she was around 4 years old, Joanie. Okay. So that's the first 4 years are a lot of turmoil, and then, then they're divorced. So that's not great. She will have, by the time she's an adult, she'll have 3 stepfathers and also a stepmother on the other side.
Oh, boy.
So, a lot of people coming in and out. She said her first stepfather threatened suicide at one point. So that was a big thing for the family there.
Sure.
And obviously her biological father has a big alcohol problem, which also, can be passed down, I think.
Doesn't help, yeah.
If someone, she apparently had addiction problems and things like that. A lot of moving around in the 70s for her. A lot of moving around as a little kid in the 70s, moving all over the place. Apparently, Joanie played the violin and the cello later.
Is that right?
In school? Yeah, she picked up the violin and the cello in terms of. Yeah. So I mean, that's cool. It's really weird to picture Chyna at the peak of her jackness.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? When she's 240 of solid muscle. Playing a fucking violin and just breaking it.
Yeah, right. I see that girl playing a cello like a ukulele.
That's what I mean. The violin would just be
bass ukulele.
She'd put it against herself, ring, and the whole thing would break, strings would pop.
Yeah.
Then she'd pick up the fucking cello like a guitar.
Strength.
That is fucking hilarious. So she also said that in 7th grade, a teacher who worked at the school that she went to, and who was he wasn't a 21-year-old either, a good deal older teacher, kissed her also.
Oh, boy.
So that's not great. Yeah, that's not a good thing here, obviously.
It's crazy that has to be said. Don't do that.
Don't molest children, please. It's wild that anyone has to say that, really. Especially if you're their teacher.
Off the children.
Yeah. Especially if you're their teacher, maybe don't molest them. That's tough there. Let's keep mouths, penises, and everything else off the children, please.
Yeesh.
So when she was 13, she discovered purging after she ate. So she discovered bulimia when she was 13. And the fucked up part is a lot of people, when they figure this out, they feel like it's a magic trick.
Right.
That's the first thing. Because in the 70s, girls used to tell each other, like, oh, my God, there's this thing you got to do. You just throw up. And they're like, oh, that's magic. Holy shit. That's great.
You put food in, and then you just take the food out.
And you just take it out.
No big
but you
deal.
still ate it. It's great. And that's so, like, they didn't realize it was bulimia at the time. And so we're talking, this is like 1980.
Yeah.
Not a lot of widespread public, people just
and
thought
a lot of people,
that was a cool trick.
A lot of people don't understand that also when you do that a lot, your body just automatically does that eventually.
It fucks
and then
you
you
up.
Don't hold anything down.
It fucks you all up.
It's not just they puke and they just stop puking.
No.
They just stop doing that after meals. That's not the solution. You got to retrain your body to keep that down.
And when you're throwing up too, more shit comes up than you want to, so you lose natural shit out of your stomach. Obviously,
and then
your
you
teeth get
up.
fucking messed up, and it's
your esophagus. Everything's just backwards.
It's not good. It's not good at all. So that's a bad thing, and especially like I said, 1980 we're talking about. This was I don't even know if they had after school specials about that yet. I don't even know if fucking Jodie Foster did that in a fucking thing or not. I have no idea.
Keep the apple pie down.
I'm not positive. I mean, I know anorexia was a big deal that they talked about a lot back then, but I think bulimia was like anorexia's secret secret hot little sister they've been keeping in the waiting for her debutante ball that she can come out and show her tits off. You know what I'm saying?
Anorexia is just as bad. You're just not putting anything in and then doing things vigorously, and you're just killing your body.
Oh, yeah. Then you have no energy either because you're losing all sorts of shit here. So that's when she figured that out. She went to Penfield High School, by the way, which Penfield, New York, was we did a small-town murder there.
Yeah.
So that is interesting if you check that out. She began to work out when she was 15. She found a copy of Mom's Jane Fonda's workout video. That is what did it.
Jane did this.
Jane Fonda did this. She found that video, and, man, she was on that shit.
Wow.
Yeah. Apparently, now she's 16 is when now her home life, she's 16. She's fucking purging. She's working out to Jane Fonda. Her mother is on her second stepfather by now.
Okay, so third marriage.
Third marriage, second stepdad for Joanie. This is when Joanie gets kicked out of the house.
For what?
For getting caught with weed.
Oh.
Her mom caught her with weed and kicked her out of the house. Which
in the early 80s.
In the early 80s. So I'll kick you out of the house where you'll never smoke weed out there.
Right. Go out there where you got that.
That's what I mean. That's very old school dumb parent thinking of like rather than I should keep this kid closer to the vest for a minute here.
Why don't you go live the life that you live here? Because we're broke too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not like she's leaving the lap of luxury here.
Right.
So apparently, from what Joanie said, they never saw each other again after that. That was it. That was it for Mom. I mean, I guess they were never close to begin with, but I mean, that was the end.
That was
there.
Enough for Joanie to write her ass off.
I guess, or the other way around. So, I mean, Joanie or Kathy said this about her mother. This is the sister, quote, "She was done being a parent and done being stressed out. She just gave up."
Wow.
And Kathy didn't talk to her at the time of the quote came out. Kathy hadn't talked to her mother in 20 years either. So apparently Janet was just done with everything. She was just
over.
Fucking done having kids, just out.
Huh.
So that's really interesting here. So yeah, so Joanie has just a tough life coming up. Not a lot of support system, and kind of having to figure it out for herself here. She said that her father was, I guess she wanted to pursue a career in law enforcement.
Yeah.
And her father didn't like that, apparently.
Really?
Didn't want her to do that. Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Why don't you go wrestle instead?
Let me teach you how to play blackjack. You ever done that before? I don't know. At least it's a job.
Have you heard of craps?
At all. So she also alleges, we don't know how true this is, but she alleges that her father took out several student loans in her name without her knowledge.
Oh, that's fucked up.
That's fucked up, which sounds like something a gambler would do. It really does.
Yeah.
Leaving her $40,000 in debt for college she didn't even get to go to. So that kind of sucks.
Shit.
So she also says that she didn't have a good relationship with her siblings either. It's just her whole family's a fucking mess.
Wow.
Not a good very dysfunctional, this whole family. I mean, not getting along together here. So I guess she ended up leaving when she was 16. She got caught with weed, and her mother wanted to make her go to drug rehab, like an inpatient facility.
Over weed?
Because she caught a 16-year-old with weed.
Oh, boy.
Which is maybe a little much. Meth, yes. You know what I mean?
Look, I understand having concern about it,
yeah,
but you can't
can
put
totally have concern.
Smokes a little bit of weed in the same room as a heroin addict.
And then expect them to be better, not worse, when they come out.
And
not have more
compare
shit.
those two equally. That's crazy.
Yeah, you can... if you're 16-year-old smoking, you can still talk that through or talk that out or something. It's not a...
There's still hope. This could still be a phase.
They're not picking scabs yet or anything, so it's fine. You know what I mean? Everything's going to be okay. So
I don't know that I've ever met anybody that stole or broke into homes to get weed money.
No, I never met anybody that did that, ever. It's too risky.
Yeah.
I'd like to get weed to relax. I don't want to do all that crazy shit.
That'll fuck me up. That'll kill this high.
No shit. So when she left there, she moved in with her biological father and finished high school. She said she didn't have many friends at all in high school either. Yeah. Didn't work out well there. And she said she finished her last year of high school in Spain for some reason. Huh. Which is very strange for a poor gambling addict to be like, we're moving to Spain. I don't understand it whatsoever. So she ends up attending later on here. She ends up attending the University of Tampa, which is actually quite a few wrestlers have that as their alma mater. Paul Orndorff was on the Tampa football team and was a big University of Tampa guy. There's a bunch of guys there that did that. University of Tampa, by the way, football team disbanded in the mid-'70s when the Buccaneers came.
Really?
Yep. They said, fuck it, we can't compete, and stopped.
We can't have two teams here.
They disbanded the football team then. I don't know if they brought it back now, but yeah, Mr. Wonderful there, Paul Orndorff, played on one of the last University of Tampa football teams.
How about that?
Little wrestling / college football trivia for you there.
Yeah.
So she graduated in 1992 with a major in, and this is going to get you far in the world. This is where all the money is, Spanish literature.
Is that right?
That's 17th century French literature. I'm trying to think of more useless majors that you could possibly fucking have than that. It's really not a good major.
I guess I didn't know there was
what are you going to do?
Spanish writers.
I know there's Spanish writers, but
I'm sure there are, but I don't fucking know.
I don't know, and I guess that's why she was into it. But yeah, I don't know why you would. I don't know what the job is for that. If there's like a, going to
be a curator of a fucking museum.
That's all I can think of. Yeah. She also studied French and German and claims to be able to converse in either language, which we don't know if that's true. She also said during this time, which if it's at the University of Tampa, this all tracks as far as just falling into place of what you would expect. No, just what you would expect at the University of Tampa. She said she was raped by two men after getting drunk at a party, which is Tampa behavior, big time. If you've ever been to Tampa, you go, you're always seconds from being raped by two people in Tampa. That's what it feels like.
Doesn't matter who you are.
Even like a guy in a rooster, someone's going to take you. I felt that way outside the comedy club. So
it is so scary.
That fucking town is the worst place we have.
What a wild place that exists.
I swear to God.
I can't believe it exists.
No, it's definitely the worst place in the United States by far. By far. And I'm talking rural Arkansas.
Yeah.
All of it.
Any place that rivals it is going to be in that gulf. It's all right there.
Yeah. West Virginia in the hills where they eat groundhog for breakfast.
Yeah.
Still not as bad.
I still see that gulf.
Yeah,
it's fucking awful.
I still see Tampa. Just blonde ladies with bruises all over their legs walking around all the time. And where are those bruises coming from? Where are they coming from? Now, she was a member of, she did ROTC also in college.
Really?
Yeah. So she's looking for something to join, it looks like.
Yeah.
Really feels like she's looking for a place where, this can be Joanie's spot.
Yeah.
It
also feels like she recognizes that she's physically capable of self-defense or self-preservation or some sort of defense.
And she's 5'10" and she works out, so she doesn't
probably.
I'm sure she doesn't feel like a weakling, and she
she
knows she's
like
a big girl.
A dainty woman. Yeah.
She knows she's bigger than the other girls as far as even height goes. I mean, 5'10's a tall girl. It really is.
Sure.
So she just seems to be looking for things that are stable. Military is a stable thing to be a part of. She tries to work, as we're going to talk about, she tries to work for the FBI or the DEA also. Again, like big institutions she's looking for where, you don't, that aren't flighty and aren't like her childhood was. Security was. That's what it seems like. She originally wanted to use her knowledge of foreign languages to work for the FBI or the DEA, and then she ended up joining the Peace Corps.
Okay.
Which is also looks good on your resume. That's not bad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, college graduate doing the Peace Corps thing. That's like what, rich kids who are going to be very successful later do.
Yeah.
So
a little less pay in that Peace Corps.
A little less pay. Yeah. Well, you're doing that for future. Oh, you were in the Peace Corps if you want to, that's a big thing. And she was assigned to Guatemala.
Wow.
Where her knowledge of Spanish literature would come in handy, I would assume, I guess. So she goes over there, she does that, then she comes back and does a bunch of fucking things, a bunch of very weird things. Diverse, I would say. She's a cocktail waitress in a strip club.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
I could see that. She's a singer in a band for a while, which I don't she has one of the weirdest voices I've ever heard anybody have. So, I mean, it's unique.
Speaking or singing. I don't want to hear that voice sing.
It's unique, but I can't imagine it coming singing. It's fucking crazy.
Unique is one thing. I don't see it selling.
Yeah. And then she did phone sex as well.
Oh, God. Are you serious?
Yeah. There's this very specific type of guy that wants
there
that,
is. Yeah. Imagine jerking off to that. Golly.
That's wild. That's wild.
My God.
You have tits, right?
Jesus.
Man. So in her mid-20s, she's living in the Florida Keys and took a 6-week class to train as a flight attendant.
Really?
Yeah. So she's going to be a flight attendant. She's all ready for her job. On her way to her first day of work to fly her first flight, she gets in a huge car accident and spends 4 days in the hospital.
Damn it.
So that was it for flight attending.
Yeah.
She never got to be a sky waitress, unfortunately for her. Oh, man. So when she recovered, her sister, Kathy, helps her get the most 90s job that's ever existed.
Hooters restaurant.
Selling pagers.
Oh, okay,
that's
that too.
The most 90s job that's ever happened. A pager salesman. Holy, you really can put a year on that. You know what I mean?
I mean, they were super in demand in the 90s.
Oh, they were huge.
Every teenager wanted one.
Fuck yeah. I mean, pagers were the shit in the 90s. Like, in the 80s, it was just like doctors and drug dealers.
Yeah.
By the 2000s, it was cell phones. So there's like a window of like 93 to 97 where pagers are the fucking shit. And
4
everyone's
to 6
got
years.
one.
If you owned pagers,
the world.
holy fuck. You I hope you didn't invest. I hope you invested and didn't just spend all that thinking it was just going to keep coming.
You were opening franchises of pager stores thinking you were investing in your future.
It was JJ, the king of beepers in Arizona. Remember? Did you
I do remember that. Yes, I do remember the king of beepers. Yeah.
JJ, and I'm the king of beepers. It's like, we should do a 30 for 30 on JJ.
JJ, the king of beepers. The king of beepers. We just had New York Page, I think it was, in fucking Poughkeepsie. That was a big thing here. But yeah, there was just a weird time. And for some reason, it says Kathy helped her get a job selling pagers. Why do you need help getting a job selling pagers?
You need a co-signer on that job?
What the fuck do you need that for? I mean, never heard of that, but you need a reference. It's a big reference job.
$40,000 in student loans. It's my dad's. It's not hers. I will co-sign on this.
Super weird. Will you take people's $10 a month when they give it to you? Yeah, right, great.
Yes, I will. Okay,
and
good.
She said at the same time, her and her sister Kathy both worked as belly dancers.
She can belly dance?
Apparently she can belly dance. Well, I mean, she's got to have some control over her body to be able to wrestle. She's got to be...
Yeah.
She wasn't bad. She's got to be pretty, have some good movement.
Big.
She's big. She wasn't that jacked, though, back then.
Yeah.
I'll show you a picture of her when we get to it, when she was started bodybuilding and stuff, and she's nowhere near what she is later. Yeah. Like there was a time there in WWE where she was wrestling men.
Yeah.
So at that point, she was fucking jacked. I don't know what the hell she was taking, but holy shit. I mean,
when they had her in Playboy, holy fuck, that's a big woman.
She gained 40 fucking pounds of muscle at one point. I mean, it was like this. You could see how much bigger she got, and that's a totally different Chyna than the Chyna.
And her body looked great too, like the cuts and her body looked amazing.
The most unnatural shit I've ever seen. I mean, that's her and Triple H standing next to each other. We're like, Jesus Christ, can you get any more?
Which one's on more?
Holy fuck, man.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
What is like when they go for over the bills in the house every month, it's like, okay, rent, we got $900, okay, we'll do that. You got food, blah, 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 blah. Steroids, $7,000, okay. That's a lot. That's their whole budget.
Yeah, they were so big.
Biggest line item they have there. Yeah. So, so she's a pager selling belly dancer at one point.
I can't believe it.
Quite the background for Joanie, isn't it? Yeah. It's fucking crazy. Nothing really was nothing grabbed her.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Selling pagers, she didn't decide was going to be her career. And belly dancing, I feel like there's a window there.
Yeah.
So she always liked weightlifting, though. She always liked working out. Yeah. She was always liked weightlifting, and she used to go to the health club after school when she was a kid and work out till it closed after she found Jane Fonda. And I guess they moved to New Hampshire. Her and her sister were living in New Hampshire, and she was selling beepers and teaching aerobics. And she'd also go to the workout club, which was a gym, with her sister and work out a lot. So that's what she's doing. A jacked pager seller, fucking belly dancing when there's time.
That's so interesting.
She started dating her personal trainer at that point, too.
Oh, no.
A guy named Jerry. So 6 days a week, he'd wake her up at 4:30 a.m. and drive her to the gym. And she would do early morning lifting followed by boxing sessions in the afternoon.
God damn.
So it seems like that's like her job, which is weird. She said at night she would cram 80 pounds of weights in her backpack and spend 30 minutes on the Stairmaster.
That's one way to fuck your backpack up.
That's one way to fuck your neck up.
80
Imagine
pounds.
that. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
But the running with weight on you, I mean, work for Jerry Rice and guys like that. A lot of guys did that for a long time, and it
great
helped.
For your legs, shit.
I would guess so, yeah. She says that, or actually the trainer guy, her boyfriend, says that she would squat 450 pounds a dozen times. and she could bench multiple reps, of 315 pounds.
Yeah, I could see
that's no shit. A lot of fucking weight to put up. And I realize these jacked up steroid guys do 550 or whatever, but like that's a lot.
A woman putting up over 300 pounds is crazy.
That's a lot. And I think she was probably, I don't think she was on, if she was on anything, it wasn't nearly what she was on later back then, just because I don't know how she could afford it. But she said that he said she'd always eat fish and chicken and protein powder and vitamins, and that's all she ate, basically. Wow. Once a week, though, on Sundays, that's when it was carb coma time, he said.
What does that mean?
She could eat anything she wants that day.
Okay.
So Sunday is eat anything you want day, and then the rest of the week is chicken, fish, and workouts. She'd pancakes, pizza, ice cream, apple pie, just as much
shoveling it in
shit as she wanted that day because she's going to work it off the next day. But yeah, one day a week. They said she went from 155 to 185 pounds while they were together, which is, and it's all muscle. And he said it was all natural, all pure muscle is what he said.
Holy.
And this is wild. I don't know how true this is, but her abdominal muscles were so strong that even when she developed an ovarian tumor, she didn't feel it. That seems a bit. That seems like something you'd say like in a wrestling promo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Feel ovarian cancer.
Not even ovarian tumors can stop me because my abs of steel. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I don't know if that's true. That really sounds like wrestling.
I wonder if it was probably just wasn't cancerous or whatever.
It was probably something that got removed or one of they dissolved sometimes or whatever the hell. So apparently that her and her sister were both doing this. Her and her sister were both getting pretty jacked.
Imagine the Kegels she can turn out.
Oh,
Good
God, she'll rip it right off. Rip it off, snap it off, and throw it across the room.
Comes out looking like Laffy Taffy.
All smashed up like a cartoon character's foot that got ran over by a steamroller. What?
Oh, fuck.
That's what it is right there. They were competing in fitness contests. Like
her and her boyfriend?
No, her and her sister.
Oh.
Yeah, her and her sister were doing this. Her sister was doing it too. They even talked about becoming a pro wrestling tag team. They said they should do that together. We should be sisters. Here is a picture of Joanie in 1995.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean,
see what I mean?
Her body's insane.
It is nowhere near. I love how they put them in like 80s secretary shoes. She's in
high French cut.
She's in this high French cut American flag fucking themed bikini with
red, white, and stripes on the bottoms, and then the stars go on the titties.
With like 2-inch leather taupe heels that a secretary would wear in an office in 1980s. She changed those into her LA Gears to go to aerobics for lunch. You know what I mean? Her head. The weird part about this.
That's the bizarre part.
Is that,
for sure.
Okay. This looks like you put like Jimmie's head on like Wesley Snipes' body. Like it's the weirdest fucking thing. No, it's
it's not. The color doesn't even match.
That's what I'm saying. Her face is like 12 shades lighter than the rest of her body, and it looks so weird. It's the strangest looking thing. She's got a very short haircut.
Yeah,
like
in
above
China,
the chin.
She's a pretty lady, but her nose is just it's so round and buttoned. It doesn't fit the rest of her.
She had that jaw. She had that jaw that looked like that guy in the 80s movie, 80s action movies that was always a bad guy. I don't remember his name, but she looked like that guy. That big square, and she looked tough. But I mean, that was later on. She'll get all that done and worked on. Yeah, that's one of the first things she did is get her get her jaw fixed because that was her main.
When she got her nose fixed, it was perfect.
That was fine. Yeah, the jaw was interesting. So. Here she is. Yeah, this is performing at the Fitness America pageant in New York City on ESPN2.
Oh, wow.
So look at that. I'm sure, I don't know how many people had ESPN2 in 1995, but...
I think it came with the package, but nobody watched it.
No, I remember being excited when I got an apartment in like 1997 when I was 18, and fucking they had ESPN2 on the cable that came with the apartment. I was like, oh my God, ESPN2? Cool.
At this.
Wow. This is great. I'm going to be watching volleyball games from Guam. This is can't wait for this shit.
Can't wait to watch Nepalese table tennis.
That's going to be amazing. Going to be awesome. So they would wear blonde wigs and sleeveless tops to show off their physique and everything like that. Joanie,
I wonder if that bob in that picture, it
might be a wig. That
probably
looks,
a wig.
I think it's a wig.
She has some
probably.
dark-ass hair.
Yeah, it's in the picture. It's like this weird orange bob that she has.
Like
That's probably a wig,
bob.
I would assume.
It has to be.
It would be
Unless
easier,
she tried
too.
to blonde that black, and that's what it turned out
that
as.
would be horrifying. Yeah. But yeah, at this point, she just looks like a real jacked person, but not
Normal
like
gal.
not huge. You know what I mean? She'll put another
not
50
imposing.
pounds on. Yeah, just real muscular and really in good shape. So her and her sister went to a WWE house show in Malden, Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah.
And the two of them, they had like wigs and their sleeveless shirts, and they're both jacked. So when you bring two girls like that, apparently the whole crowd started looking at them because they thought they were part of the show.
Well, you sit that woman next to me in the audience. I'm like, all right, well, I'm waiting on the bit for when they pull you out of the audience.
When are you going to stand up and slap somebody in the face and get pulled over the guardrail and end up fighting a man? Because I'm going to say it. That's exactly what we think. And if there's two of them, this is definitely a bit. There's something that's going to happen.
Wait for this tag team. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, something's going to happen. Two chicks are going to jump on a guy and beat the crap out of him. Something's going to happen, but nothing happened. They were just spectators.
Yeah, they just sat there eating their popcorn.
Yeah, well, I assume, though, if you were the WWE, you would notice that. If someone in the crowd is getting more attention than the ring, than someone who the lights are shining on, maybe look at those people.
A cameraman certainly saw it.
That's exactly right. So Kathy said she didn't like the attention of everybody looking at her in that regard, whereas Joanie thought it was awesome.
Yeah, that's a dumb approach to have because your sister's about to be rich.
That's the thing, and you're not. So, well, for a while anyway, she'll be rich. She'll be rich. So she said this was the first time she felt powerful in her whole life because she commanded attention and people looking at her. She said they're looking at us like we're someone. Look at that. Yeah. They think we're somebody. Yeah, chicks just don't look like that.
Two dumb chicks from Rochester. This is great.
This is amazing. So the following day, she, I guess, went home and told her boyfriend trainer all about this. You know, they were all looking at us, and he said, well, let's get you into wrestling then.
Wow.
Let's do it. So the next day, they drive back to Malden to meet Killer Kowalski. Kowalski's a WWE Hall of Famer and just a really well-known wrestler, the 50s, 60s, 70s. He was a big, giant guy. He trained a ton of guys. He trained Triple H. He was one of his most famous students. Trained a lot of guys. A lot of the guys who came from the Northeast were trained by Killer Kowalski.
Yeah. Al Snow's daughter was close with him, and like he wrote letters, and his penmanship and his writing, like that's a thoughtful man. Crazily, because he does not look thoughtful.
No, he looks like a crazy person. I've heard Bruno Sammartino say very nice things about him, talking about how he's a very honest man and a very stand-up guy. And he said he had a religion he was into. He was into some like weird cult in the 60s. Yeah, that was like some weird religion that he was into. I don't know if he kept that forever, but Bruno kept saying, I remember him always talking about that as religion.
Trying to get him in it.
So, no, he said he wasn't recruiting me, actually. He said, but he would talk about it was good for him. And, you know, if you'd ask him what he was up to, he'd tell you that kind of shit. So the trainer guy, Jerry, her boyfriend, said, from the minute we walked through the door, he couldn't stop staring at Joanie, meaning Killer Kowalski couldn't. He had this look in his eyes like she's different, she's special. It was the weirdest chemistry I've ever seen. He just knew. Well, yeah, he's been in the fucking wrestling business for 50 years. He sees money when it walks through the door.
Yeah, and it's hard to not see her and go, holy fuck, I can make you a star.
Yeah, well, anybody who's been around wrestling that long sees when someone's fucking money. Not always. You can't always see it. Some of the guys come on later. So I don't think anyone looked at Chris Benoit and said that guy's money back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like when he first started or whatever, he was a little skinny Canadian guy. But a girl like her, you go, that guy, she's fucking money. You know? I mean, period. That's it. You knew that shit. So she trained with Killer Kowalski so that she got a real, actual, solid training. A lot of these people who came in back in the day had very little training. Remember, Nicole Bass didn't have hardly any training. But this is like, I mean, Triple H trained here, so and he was a good like worker actually back in the before he got too jacked. He was actually a good worker back then. So she knows how. That means she knows how to work. Her first match was in 1995. So she wrestled a man dressed as a woman. I guess they didn't have any other chicks in a small promotion, so they just were like, I don't know, you're the most feminine guy we got. Throw this fucking wig on and get out there.
You look like you could fit this dress. Nobody else can. Try it on.
What the fuck, man? And she worked indie promotions to get like some experience.
Yeah.
And that's what you do. While you're going to school, you work as much as you can. You try to get as much ring time as you can, basically. It's like when you first start comedy. You really need the stage time.
Get up there and do those open mics.
You just got to do it to know what your mannerisms are and know how to do everything. It's just how it works. So she did that. She's working for that. Some of her early matches were set up by the fabulous Moolah, who that's shocking that Moolah still didn't have her fucking hand in her pocket till she dropped dead. Because that's what she did to people, Moolah. She began to regularly enter fitness competitions at that point, and she was competing in the regional level of the Fitness America competition, which is, I believe, where that picture came from. Yes, that's that picture right there. So that's where she is competing here against all these other women here. She's very big compared to the other women. They said she'd usually finish in last place.
Really?
A lot of the women are short. Shorter people look more muscular.
Yeah.
That's why it was such a big deal that Arnold Schwarzenegger was like a Mr. Universe because he's 6'4".
Huge. Yeah.
And that's unheard of for anybody that size to be that fucking big. Normally, all those guys are 5'7", the champions, because you're compact and you look more popped. Just harder to make longer muscles bigger, I guess.
Yeah. When I was training and going to the gym a lot, I had a guy that was helping me out, and he would say that to me, like, your frame, it's perfect for this. We can really put it on you. And I was like, I don't want to put it on.
We can really put it on you.
I don't want to put it on.
We could really make your knees and hips really fucked up when you're 70. It's going to be awesome. Did you tell him?
Make it real hard for you to get into things.
Did you tell him I'm over 40? Why would I want that?
I can't do it, man.
What the fuck am I doing?
I'm sure you think I can, but I can't.
Yeah. I know the gym is filled with guys over 40 that are all jacked up on HGH and think that they're not over 40, but I know I'm over 40. I'm not doing this.
I just ate at Taco Bell, man.
Yeah, dude. That really is the weirdest group of guys to me.
Yeah.
And it's the same guy. They all look like you. They're all
I don't know if that was supposed to be an insult.
No. They're all shaved-headed guys over 40.
Yeah.
And they're all like, I'm going to get jacked. And like, where were you when you were 22, motherfucker? What were you doing then?
I think it's gone, man.
I think it's over. Now that my body's starting to break down, I'm going to get it really fucking jacked up is a weird
thing. Now
thing.
that it hurts when I wake up in the morning, I think working out will make it better. It's going to make it worse, man.
It's going to be worse. Only worse. Low
There's no way
impact.
this gets better. I don't know what to tell you.
Laps in the pool, homie. Not whatever you're doing.
You were behind me in the drive-thru at Taco Bell. What are you talking about?
Yeah. They're like, I want to put on 30 pounds of muscle and do jujitsu. Why? For what?
I want to have a beer and eat 2 more burritos.
Fuck that. I'm going to go take a jujitsu. How about that? I'm not doing any of that shit.
I'm going to take a wet jujitsu.
Yeah, because I ate Taco Bell. I'm not doing any of this shit.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's going to be loose, man. I don't know how you're doing it. And
like,
guys,
who are you trying to impress?
Yeah, guys that work out in their 20s and 30s and their 40s, and they're still doing it in their 50s, and it's like, fuck, man, you've wasted so much.
Yeah. And what if you drop dead when you're 58 anyway? That was a lot of wasted fucking time.
A whole lot of money you gave the gym for nothing.
Whole lot of times you said, no, can't do that because I got to be up early tomorrow to work out, and you didn't need to do that shit.
I gotta be up early to eat 12 eggs.
Jesus
Fuck you. I can't even eat eggs. I don't know what you guys are doing.
Yeah, what am I supposed to do here? Who's that for? Was the divorce that bad that you needed to do this? Who's this for?
You trying to get Jack to fuck a 20-year-old? She doesn't want you, man.
She doesn't want you, no matter how weird and veiny you are.
Yeah.
She's not interested. Unless you're rich, and then you don't have to be veiny at all.
Yeah. She might fuck you once and then tell her friends about how weird it was.
How weird it was and how your balls didn't look right.
How your balls look weird and your nipples are so low.
They're so oddly pinched, too. It's very strange.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'll be fat. I don't care.
That's fucking funny, man. So somehow Joanie ended up meeting Triple H and Shawn Michaels, who were running buddies at the time.
Okay.
They were. There's the whole clique that we've talked about there. And it was Scott Hall, and it was Kevin Nash, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and X-Pac is the other guy. Yeah, there was a couple guys that came in and out, but that's the main, kind of the main clique there. Yeah, you'd have Jeff Jarrett would travel with them and shit like that, but he wasn't part of their main clique. And then she came in, obviously, as part of this also, because she's going to hook up with Triple H, as we'll talk about here.
Right.
Really fuck her life up good. So... What he did was pretty shitty, honestly, because then she got edged out. Yeah. Oh, kind of a dick?
It's kind of a monster.
What kind of a monster do you think you have to be to marry into that family? To where they will accept you as just as heartless and ruthless as they are and let you run their business.
Yeah. Oh, look, your slime has just the right essence.
And people will disagree because Triple H has made a very big show of I care about the older guys, and I care about these guys, and I care about those guys. But it's only the guys he kind of likes, though.
Yeah.
He's way
to
not
make you like him.
Yes.
It's
PR. He knows PR.
Right. He's Blake Shelton singing about pickup trucks. Man.
Yeah.
It's to pander to
that he doesn't drive.
Right. That he doesn't. He drives a fucking Mercedes. Stop it. He's doing it to get you to like him.
That's true. And he, I will say, he definitely does more for the guys and has done more for like older guys and stuff than Vince McMahon ever even thought of fucking doing. Right. So he's probably a way better guy than Vince McMahon. Don't get me wrong, but
perhaps it was his idea to do that to make Vince look a little softer and more of a likable guy too.
Listen, Vince, but at the same time, he can't pull off probably what Vince can pull off also. Right, he's like, people will just hate me. They won't hate me and buy my shit like they did with him. They'll just say, fuck you. I don't know, whatever. So anyway, they ended up somehow getting to meet her, and they saw some tapes of her matches. And at the same time, I'm sure they got to meet her through Killer Kowalski would probably be part of it too, because that was Triple H's trainer. Yeah. So he probably said, "There's this
Kowalski
chick."
may have made a phone call. Yeah.
There's this chick. I mean, Jesus Christ here. So
you guys don't have a lot of women up there. I mean, this could be good for you.
And you see a tape of her match. You see she can work a little bit, and you go, all right, this is she's not just a muscle chick.
Yeah.
So initially, apparently, Vince McMahon didn't want any part of her at first.
Really?
Shawn Michaels, it was his idea and Triple H's idea together, but I'm going to say more Shawn Michaels because this is his idea, his quote idea that he's had like 6 fucking times.
Epiphany. Oh my God.
His idea is
I
always
got a brand new idea.
Yes, see that big person? We should bring them in and make them our bodyguard. Mm-hmm. He did. That's how Kevin Nash got in
really?
WWE. They saw him on there and they were like, this big motherfucker, let's bring him in and make him my bodyguard.
Not just big, fucking handsome.
A big handsome fuck.
Yeah.
Well, Shawn Michaels, it was because he was a heel at that point, and basically a heel's got to get heat on a guy.
Yeah.
He's got to beat him up and make the crowd hate him as he's beating him up. Well, if you're a little guy, it's harder to do that because when you get beat up, they have sympathy for you because you're smaller than that guy.
I feel
so
bad for the little guy.
They needed a giant guy outside who could, choke a guy when the ref was back was turned to make Shawn Michaels still look like the heel. So that's why they got it. He did it with Sid Vicious later, and then he did it with fucking this one now. So, or I think Sid was after him. So so that's his quote idea that he has a lot.
Get a big guy to be filthy.
Hey, he could be my bodyguard.
Yeah.
So apparently Vince didn't think that the audience would find a woman beating up a man believable. Even her. The audience isn't going to buy that.
She's so dark and adorably. There's something sexy about her. I love her.
I don't find that at all
understand.
Even close to sexy. I don't find her sexy at all.
I love her.
Not my type at all.
Really?
Don't like it. No, not my type. But I'm not saying she's not attractive. I'm just saying not for me. Not my thing at all.
Okay. and I'll preface that or not even preface because this is after. But there are phases of Joanie, phases of Chyna that are 100% repulsive. But
Yeah.
there are phases of Chyna that I'm like, God damn, if you would just maintain that your entire life, I would marry you tomorrow and praise you every day.
Praise you every day.
I will worship your feet.
That is fucking hilarious. So WWE is kind of dragging their feet on signing her, WWF at the time, and this is when Joanie is approached by WCW.
Uh-oh.
Now, the one way to get Vince to really want you in 1996 is to have WCW want you. Yeah, that's it. Vice versa. I mean, it was Dennis Rodman got a fuckload of them. I think he got $2 million for 3 appearances from WCW.
Really?
Just because Vince McMahon wanted him and offered him $1 million for 2. So they said, how about $2 million for 3?
Right.
So he obviously did that. And, there was a bunch of guys like that they were kind of fighting over. It happened all the time.
About it?
I guess.
What a place to be. That'd be so great to have 2 people fighting over you. Oh, I want that so bad.
It is. This is strange because I've never heard this before, by the way. And I've read like so many books and so many shoot interviews and so much. I've never heard that WCW is interested in her before WWF. Never heard that. And it says too, it's been written that they wanted her to be the sole female member of the New World Order.
Not even a valet. She's going to be the member.
Or maybe like, one of the side guys. But still,
Sure.
I've never heard that before.
Huh.
I feel like I would have heard that if that was true.
It's a great plan, being that she does so great in black.
That's true. No, it works. It would definitely work with the leather pants on her and all that. But that's like, I think that's from her book. Mm-hmm. It's another thing, too. She wrote a book that, I mean, who knows what the... Anytime anybody writes a book like that, you don't know what's true and what's not, obviously.
Yeah.
So,
and when at the time you're writing a book, it's at the end there, of the career, because you're narrating what happened. And at that point in her life, man, was it not good.
Well, I think her first book came out in like 2001 or 2 or something.
That might have been a decent time.
That's
for her,
that's a great time for her. That's when she was doing acting and posing in Playboy, and she had a lot going on for her at that point. Apparently. She says she initially accepted WCW's offer, but they said that she ended up going with WWF. Killer Kowalski said he got her hired by WWF after introducing her to Shane McMahon.
Oh.
And which, if Killer Kowalski introduces you, that's a big deal because he brings quality guys in there, and he's a legend also. You respect that guy.
And at that time, Shane is looking for all of the approval of Dad.
I'm sure all of the approval. And Killer Kowalski, from what I understand, was like a shooter, too. So he'd also rip your head off if you don't show him some respect, I think, no matter how old he is.
Yeah.
So, and he said WCW is interested in her, and they were like, that's all they needed to hear.
Yep.
So her boyfriend / trainer there said she came home that night and never slept. We knew her life was about to change. She was so excited and also a little scared.
Yeah.
So
her boyfriend / trainer started shopping for apartments for himself.
I was going to say he's going to shop for a studio apartment.
Yeah, because he's about to be tossed aside.
Because pretty much immediately upon signing with WWE, she broke up with him.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't need you anymore.
You are useless.
Like, God, no. And you're not even half as... I mean, he might have been like a muscly guy or whatever, but it's like, I'm around the most fucking...
Yeah, I'm around all the muscles.
All these guys are jacked and have hair. Yeah. I'm fucking... I'm going with these guys here, for Christ's sake. And she starts dating Triple H at that point. And that's a big deal here. And at the time, Triple H is becoming one of the biggest stars in WWE because this is when D-Generation X is going on. Yeah. That's when they started that. And
Attitude thing.
The whole Attitude Era and the D-Generation X, a big part of that. It's funny because, like, at the time, I didn't like WWF at that time.
No?
I didn't.
You're leaning more on the WCW.
I like WCW more in terms of at this period. I really did.
I fucking loved the NWO shit.
I liked the NWO shit. I thought that was cool. I thought they were doing a bunch of cool shit that, whatever. Whereas I thought At the time when they brought out Degeneration X, I went, oh, well, so knock off NWO is what that is. Because it was. It was GoBot NWO. In the end, they ended up being much more successful with it and taking it to another. They're the Oreo to Hydrox. Hydrox was first, but Oreos are 10,000 times fucking better.
Yeah.
So that's what ended up happening in the end by like 99. But at the time,
Milk
96.
co-signed on the Oreo, James. That's how Hydrox died. It's Milk's favorite cookie.
It's like, yeah, sorry. Once Milk's on your side,
it's over.
Once all the nation's cows are on your side, it's over, my friend.
And Hydrox just doesn't sound near as good as Oreo. Hydrox sounds like you use it to clean your bathtub.
Yes, I was going to say, it's like a makeup remover.
Yes, not good.
Honey, would you hand me the Hydrox? I can't get my eyeshadow off. And then you really work
Babe,
it.
the battery terminals are corroded. Get the Hydrox.
Bring your Hydrox. That takes anything off. It doesn't sound good. No. It definitely sounds like a chemical combination or like
Who the fuck said kids are going to love these? So they're called Hydrox. No.
Why?
Wrong. Swing and a miss.
Meanwhile, Oreo is like M&M.
Oh, God, it's so
Oreo
fun.
is M&M's.
So easy to say. Fuck
got
spelling it.
And it's got so many vowels in it. Whenever you're doing a crossword puzzle, it's inevitably in there somewhere. Always, because it's got so many vowels. They love using Oreo as a fucking
And
crossword
every time
clue.
the clue is Milk's favorite cookie. We know.
We know. We got it.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer. I can really show you how to make some money. And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
Oh, man. One was beats the, I remember the answer was beats Hydrox in the market of similar cookies at one point. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. So, yeah, she ends up breaking up with that guy, going out with Triple H. And it's hard, too, because she's never been on the road like this. This is still the road times when they got, they'd get in a fucking car at the airport and they'd drive somewhere. It's not easy. And the people you're with all the time.
Yeah.
So it would be very easy to entrench yourself with people romantically at this point.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it's understandable anyway. They're going to live together for a few years too, her and Triple H. And they're going to be like a very tight couple. They were like the kind of king and queen of wrestling type of shit, as far as couples go. And on the road they work together. They're in the same angles together because they're matched
couple.
with their So I guess initially they tried to hide their relationship from coworkers, which everyone in wrestling knows what everybody's doing.
Yeah,
it's a traveling circus.
Room again.
Yeah. Well, it's a traveling circus too. I mean, they see you every day. They're going to see a look and then another look, and over the course of you see that 6 days a week. You go, okay, these two are fucking. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Obviously, but she didn't want, and also Triple H told her that you don't want people to think you slept your way to the top. So let's act like we're not together at the time. So anyway, it's interesting here because later on, obviously, we'll have him get together with Stephanie McMahon, and they're obviously still together. And good business decision for Paul there.
Boy, did he really swing for the fences.
He was like, listen, who's going to be in better shape in 20 years?
Yeah.
Well,
that was easy.
That was an easy choice.
Yeah.
So that's how that went. And that was a big deal, obviously, that kind of broke her fucking brain a little bit because what do you do if your boyfriend, you guys all work together and you're all on the road together, and your boyfriend you believe is cheating on you with somebody at work who, by the way, also happens to be the boss, pretty much.
Who he also keeps ingraining in me the message of don't make anybody think you slept to the top.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he's fucking the top.
Well, he's fucking the boss's daughter.
Yeah.
And will eventually be basically running the company because he's fucking the boss's daughter. So, yeah. It's
because the boss made a lot of mistakes.
Well, true. Well, no, they were running because Stephanie was head of creative. She's been fucking that company up for 20 years, destroying
forever.
it. Yeah. Pretty much ever since she got in charge, it's been unwatchable. And as far as I'm concerned,
sense. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about anything in the last 5-6 years. I mean,
no.
Roman Reigns was like the big thing for a while. I don't even know who the big thing. He might still be the big thing now.
That's
shit.
Fuck. I know I all I see is like posts of shit, and I don't know because I don't follow.
And Roman Reigns is just like a hodgepodge mix of The Rock and a bunch of other wrestlers. That's it.
He's just a bunch of guys, and then they make his hair all wet and oil him up, and it looks the same as everybody else. They all look the same. They all look the same.
Yeah.
Shoulder length, dark greased up hair, or bald head. Those are the only options you can have.
Dusty Rhodes, who looks like a gay porn star. I don't know what that look is. That Dusty Rhodes' kid.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes, yeah. I don't know what that look is.
I don't know either what he's going for there.
He looks like a gay porn star to me.
He does.
Doesn't he? I don't know what that is.
But he knows what he's doing because his dad's fucking Dusty Rhodes. So he actually knows how to work.
I'm sure he's being told what to do,
do all that kind of shit.
His eyes are amazing, but that hair and head and everything about him
crazy.
Just screams gay porn to me.
It does. Well, he's got the blonde, when he does the blonde hair, it's, that's old school.
Short crop, slick back, blonde hair. It's a fascinating look.
That blonde is old school, but that's what his dad did, too. That's his dad's hair and Ric Flair's hair.
Yeah, but his dad had a lot of it. He doesn't have a lot of it.
No. Well, they used to do it just so you could see the blood back then.
Okay.
You'd have the white hair, so when you bladed, that shit was red, and it was the last row could see you bleeding. That was the point of it. Like Ric Flair, when he was bleeding, his hair was awesome. Fucking awesome.
Hogan, too.
Hogan, the little hair he had when he bled. It looked good on him, though.
His sprigs looked great.
They did. They looked real good. So her sister, Kathy, said she really felt as if she made it. Uh-huh. She loved being treated like a rock star and having that kind of lifestyle. She loved it. For once in her life, she was accepted.
Yeah.
Everybody liked her. People thought she was cool. You know, she had attention and she was making money.
And she's got this sexy thing to her that people are attracted to her.
Yeah.
A lot.
I don't see when she first came in, that wasn't what it was though.
No,
when before she got her jaw done, people used to scream at her that she had a dick all the time.
Is that right?
No one believed she was a woman at first.
Is that right?
Absolutely. No one. She was not considered attractive in
Wow.
the slightest bit at first. She was considered, they'd call her a freak and she's a monster and a freak of nature. And it wasn't, nobody thought of her as that. But then once she got her jaw chiseled and all that and was doing the Playboy stuff, then people started saying she was hot.
Yeah.
Before that, she just looked like a giant. She looked like a bouncer, for Christ's sake.
I think it's that phase where she like purposely worked on the hips and the hourglass-ish figure, because you can't get an hourglass out of that woman. She's just
no.
She's
There's
fucking
too much muscle.
huge.
Yeah.
There's too much gout.
Her shoulders huge. Her shoulders are enormous. Yeah.
But once she started getting the waist part trimmed down to a fucking crazy. I don't know what that is. It was good.
Well, yeah,
that's when I liked her.
After a while, she stopped just being about bulk, and she was trying to, because for a
Make a shape.
She was just trying to be as big as she possibly could. It seemed like for a while there, just so it would be believable that she could beat up a man.
Yeah.
So it was like that's all they had to do. And then once she's there a while, you know who she is, and she's got a rep. Then you don't have to be.
Yeah.
Then you just go, oh, it's Chyna. She's a badass. It doesn't matter how big she is at the moment. So. She, this is in '97. She signs with WWE, and she's changed everything. She changed her wardrobe, started, wearing different things and looking nice. Went from sweatpants to designer jeans, and she purchased a baby grand piano for her house, and also traded in her Ford Probe that she had for a long time.
That's a cool car.
That's a very 90s car right there.
It's a GT. That's a fun fucking car.
I had a friend who had a GT. It was nice. That thing was badass.
So cool. Yeah.
I know this was not a GT, though. This is a shit probe.
She's had the four-cylinder probe.
Bought herself a red Audi now.
Oh, shit.
Starting to live it up a little bit.
That's a big trade.
Going for German now. That's right. So, she said that, Kathy said that she loved hanging out with Joanie, and they would fucking be giggling late at night as they would use Joanie's credit card to purchase thousands of dollars worth of lingerie from a Victoria's Secret catalog.
Really?
They would take turns ordering an item apiece, all on Joanie.
Catalogs have her size?
Apparently they do.
Evidently they do. Wow.
Well, especially if you want it to be small and tight. I don't know. I guess it would work. So there's
rip out of it.
They're sitting there. Yeah, all she has to do is flex.
That's hot.
It's a breakaway. She just goes, "Ugh," and her panties explode off of her. That would be something right there. That's what you want.
Flexes and her tits just rip through it. I like that.
That would be sexy if you can pull that off. That's something.
Awesome.
I like that shit. So yeah, they're ordering thousands of dollars of lingerie on her credit card. So that's
fascinating.
Probably not the best financial decision to make.
Yeah, but that's a pretty fucking cool flex.
It's cool, yeah. It's interesting, but maybe not the smartest move.
Yeah, it's certainly not retirement moves.
when you're first starting out, I don't know. One of those deals. So she made her debut in the WWF February 16th, 1997 as In Your House 13, which is a pay-per-view. They used to do those In Your House pay-per-views. They started them because pay-per-views were like $30.
Yeah.
At the time, they were going up in cost, and they said, "What if we make a cheap one?"
Yeah.
We'll make a cheap one, and it just won't have like everybody on it. So it's just like a shit like B pay-per-view, and it was like $15.
Let's give them knockoffs.
Yeah, well, they would still have like screw job shit finishes and stuff, like where they wouldn't have the whole point of like a WrestleMania is these two stars, and normally neither of them lose. Somebody's actually gonna lose here, whereas in Your House they wouldn't do that. They'd still have a run in at the end and all that shit.
So
You
fun.
wasted $15. So her character, they put her as a plant at ringside. That's how they started her out here, and they had her choking Goldust's girl there, Marlena.
Yeah.
Goldust was in the ring with Triple H.
Okay.
Having a match, and then she choked Marlena on the outside. The next night, she appeared on Raw. So they brought her into Raw the next night, which was her big TV debut where everybody saw her. And, she was just an enforcer, bodyguard. Okay. She'd stand behind. That's what they do. They'd have Shawn Michaels and fucking Triple H would stand there and do their thing, and she'd be standing in the background with her.
Menacing.
Yeah, just looking like a bodyguard, basically, looking all tough, and that's what they did. She didn't even really talk at first or anything. She was just,
thank God,
a spectacle. Yeah, her talking wasn't the best here.
Not good.
No. She would always help them cheat, the exact Kevin Nash Sid Vicious role. That's all it was. This is my idea for Shawn Michaels here. Jim Ross said the business had never seen anything like her, which is absolutely true.
Yeah.
That's true. Before there was a lot of female wrestlers since the 30s, but none of them look like this.
No.
They all look like, somebody's aunt that's in a one-piece bathing suit out there. They all look like tough ladies.
Yeah.
Like you watch like a 70s match or an 80s match with like a tag team with these Donna Christianello and those broads.
Yeah.
They look like if you fucking said the wrong thing to them in a bar, they'd kick the shit out of you. Break the bar stool over your fucking head and everything.
Who was the lady, the wrestler that with her husband that was in Stay Tuned? Because I know they're famous people. I just don't know who they are. Do you know what I'm talking about? She had like sharp teeth and all that shit. I'm sure they were a tray, but it's still.
I think they were actors.
People.
I don't think that was a wrestler.
Those aren't even real wrestlers?
I don't think they were real wrestlers.
I'd have to Google it.
Yeah, I'm not positive though.
But that's what the women looked like if they were in wrestling. It was either that or like
fat.
A pretty girl. Yeah.
Yeah, they were either like big fat girls or like you'd have just like a tough old broad. You know what I mean? Looks like she smokes 3 packs a day and all that. Right. Or then you'd have like a couple that were like skinny and pretty and they were the baby faces and this big mean broad be beating the shit out of her and she'd and her hair would be flopping all around. But that's what they had. They didn't have whatever, or either that or they had valets, like your Missy Hyatts or Miss Elizabeth or something like that. That was just eye candy. You didn't have like, here's a chick that'll kick your ass.
Yeah,
that didn't happen at all. Have you found that, by the way?
No,
who they were?
Mr. and Mrs. Gorgon were actors. They
actors. That's what I thought.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't recognize them as that. That's too bad.
Faith Minton. I don't know
that's
who that
too
is.
bad.
That's too bad. I wanted that to be a real fucking wrestler because when I was a kid and up to recently, I've watched the movie and I was like, holy fuck, those people they're terrifying.
No shit. What was the name?
Faith Minton is her name. She was in Sudden Death with fucking.
Is she huge?
Van Damme. Yeah, she's big.
I wonder if she's related to.
She's supposed to be.
I think that was Big John Studd's last name too. Maybe she's related to Big John Studd.
Maybe she's fucking husband. I don't
Big
know.
John Studd's daughter or some giant daughter. I don't know.
George Gray was the other guy. Oh, he's
George
a wrestler.
Gray. He's a wrestler,
from,
George Gray.
Yeah.
I know. I was going to say I know that name.
Yeah, that's a
George
real
Gray's
wrestler.
a wrestler. Yeah, for sure.
She must be related to somebody that's a wrestler.
I mean, like I said, I think that's Big John Studd's last name, but he was
that would make
dead
that would
by
make
then.
sense why she's recognizable or a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember she was big.
She was a stunt woman. Yeah, so she's a big stunt woman.
Big lady. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big tough looking lady. So they said that before Chyna it was either a sex symbol or not really anything.
Yeah,
or you kind of
violent.
Yeah, you had like Medusa, who was kind of in the middle of that.
Okay.
She was like had a little bit of muscle, but she was like considered hot in the 80s and like whatever. So she was like one of those, and kind of Sherry was a little bit different. Martel in the mid 80s before she became Scary Sherry and all that shit. But nobody was like this physically imposing, holy shit, look at that chick type deal. So yeah. She was different, though. She's bench pressing 365.
Yeah.
She's huge. She's, big. She didn't like wrestling women because she felt like she was going to hurt them, she said.
And rightfully so. I wouldn't be surprised if she did.
There was no other women really like her at the time. So there wasn't really many women for her to wrestle because I would imagine, she would look like she would break them in fucking half. So they said, okay, how do we market her? We have this big thing. How do we market her?
How do we market her? Are you shitting me?
Well, what do we do to she's obviously something. So what's brand her?
Yeah.
So they brand her the 9th wonder of the world.
Right.
Because Andre the Giant is the 8th wonder of the world. So you can't have that. So now you're the 9th wonder of the world.
Yeah.
But that's how much they wanted to make her seem special. She's so special. We've nicknamed Andre the Giant this and her, and that's how special she is. So
it's her, Andre, and the fucking Great Wall
and the coral reef of fucking Great Barrier Reef,
the Grand Canyon, and her.
And her. Those are the wonders of the world. So they named her that there, which is fun. They named her Chyna. They said it was because Chyna that you handle is very delicate and fragile, and she's not. So that's why they named her Chyna with a Y. I thought it's just because she was huge. Chyna's big. Yeah, she's as big as fucking Chyna, this broad.
I guess they didn't get that angle out to us.
No, I didn't know that.
Nobody knew that.
I just, reading that, I went, that doesn't make any sense, but okay.
Name her Chyna because Chyna's delicate and she's not. That's like naming a tall guy tiny. That's
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's funny, too, because then they tried to have, like, Sable be like a wrestler later, too, but she was just like a model with giant tits.
She was so hot.
I mean,
crazy. Yeah.
She wasn't like a fucking wrestler, you know what I'm saying? And girls like that, they tried to have do it. But Jackie, too. I forgot about Jacqueline.
Jacqueline.
The black chick with big tits, and she's jacked as fuck, too.
Hot as shit.
Yeah, hot as shit, jacked, and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So that's who you had. So she would basically, the guys didn't want to get beat up by her. A lot of them.
That looks really bad.
You don't want to sell for a woman, is how they would say. I don't want to sell for no fucking woman.
And in 1999, you look like an asshole. You know what I mean? It was a specific time.
But it got to the point where the audience bought her so much that the guys didn't feel bad about it so much anymore because nobody was like, oh, nobody laughed at you for getting beat up by Chyna. Right. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, shit, fucking Chyna's coming. Watch out, dude. So once that happened, things started to change a little bit, and the guys didn't
feel as bad.
Yeah, they really didn't feel as bad. Yeah, because the audience accepts her. Mm-hmm. If the audience accepts her as badass, then you can get beat up by her because she's a badass, so it's fine. Yep. So Jim Ross said initially a lot of old-timers, including myself, didn't think it was appropriate. But she overcame all that apprehension and proved people wrong. Chyna was a trailblazer. She broke all kinds of barriers.
Sure.
And that's really what it was, too. It's in wrestling, it's all the audience and what they buy. Uh-huh. So if the audience buys it and they buy her as a badass, then you don't look like a pussy getting beat up by her. Certainly, and that's perfectly fine. So after that, nobody gave a shit. She was teased a lot. I mean, people would chant, "You're a man," at her.
She had to know that was coming, right?
Crowds would chant, "You're a man, you're a man." Signs that say, "Do you have a penis, Chyna?"
Oh, boy.
Shit like that. A lot of signs. That was a time where if you click on a Raw from like late 1997.
Real mature audience.
A real mature audience. You know exactly who those guys are now, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know who they are right now.
Oh, boy, do they love to say those words.
They fucking, as they furiously update Twitter to get the next Andrew Tate tweet or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know that crowd. But every single person in the crowd had a sign.
Oh.
You looked at the crowd; it was all signs.
It's a blanket
Remember
of
that
signs
shit? So
accusing her of having a dick,
accusing her of having a dick, accusing Shawn Michaels of being gay, accusing this one of doing that, saying hi to your girlfriend. It was just everything under the sun. Everything under the I'm sorry, girlfriend. Saying hi to some chick you're trying to get to be your girlfriend but doesn't want to.
Begging a woman. On the back side of the sign where you said that Chyna has a dick.
Yeah, you had to flip it. This upset her a lot, too.
Yeah, I believe it. It should.
Her sister said she would cry about it.
Oh, fuck. She's a professional at this point, and she's achieved more than 90% of that audience.
Yeah. Anytime 15,000 people chant anything negative at you, it's got to feel bad.
Yeah, that's got to hurt.
Unless it's what you're going for. If you're a heel and you're going for like, I'm a dick, and they're chanting, we hate you, like, that's fine. But do you have a dick is a bad chant to get from 15,000 people.
Is confusing them as your gender, then you're winning. But if you're not, then this hurts. Yeah.
And at one point during this time, Howard Stern called her a man in disguise as well on the radio, which didn't help any.
Yeah. I think she came in to dispute
later
that,
on,
and it was not good.
No. She made an asshole of herself on there. She wasn't in the right headspace for that, I don't think.
It was heartbreaking.
It is. It's sad. It is sad. So she was then put, which is very odd. They in one storyline, they put her in a romantic storyline with Mark Henry, the giant Olympic guy.
Really?
Big. Yeah, that's an interesting one here. It was because it was the Nation of Domination he was in, which was the other stable that they were always fighting with and all that kind of shit. I guess in August 1998, The Rock ordered Henry, because The Rock was the leader of the Nation of Domination at the time, to kiss Chyna to humiliate her. And she fought back with that, and then Henry would be basically following her around, couldn't get it. He was in love with her after that, and then threatened her with a sexual harassment demand over what, it's ridiculous. That was the storyline. It was very fucking stupid. Dumb storyline here, obviously. And then she ended up being his on-screen girlfriend and then turned on him, obviously, to whatever, go back with Triple H and all that shit. So she actually became the first woman ever into the Royal Rumble as well.
Really?
Yes, she was the number 30 entrant into the Royal Rumble. So that's
awesome.
They brought her in last, and she was the big surprise. And it was like, oh, shit, imagine if Chyna won the fucking Royal Rumble. And she eliminated Mark Henry in the Royal Rumble.
How about that?
And then Steve Austin eliminated her because I think he won that year. So there you go. She ended up doing a storyline where she was betraying Triple H and aligning herself with Vince McMahon when they were doing that whole thing here. Right. So a lot of different shit like that. Somewhere around here, though, Triple H starts hooking up with Stephanie McMahon. And for a long time, people were like, oh, it's we don't know whether it happened after they broke up or whatever. Bullshit. There's so many people are like, it was going on right under her fucking nose. Everybody knew it was happening, and this poor girl was just left to fucking, to flail in it, which is really shitty. Because what are you supposed to do? Go up to Stephanie and be like, stay the fuck away from my boyfriend? It's the boss. You're fucked. You're fucked. You cannot fucking win. That's a really, really, really shitty position to put her in. Yeah. It's bad here. So anyway, that's what ended up happening there. The wrestlers, I guess she said that now Triple H is famously he's a teetotaler, very famously.
Really?
The reason the Clique got him into the crew at first, he was brand new in wrestling. And they had seen him, they said, because he worked as, what was it, Terra Rising, I think was his name in WCW at first. He was like a preliminary guy.
His name was Terra?
Terra Rising, like Earth.
Yeah.
Earth coming at you. Terrible fucking name. Terrible name.
Terra.
Yes. Yeah, because everyone watching wrestling knows that means Earth.
Yeah. No, your name's Terra, bro.
Your name is Terra. So they saw him and they were like, oh my God, what a terrible gimmick. But they were like, this kid's actually not a bad worker.
He's good at what he's doing. He just has a stupid name. We could
Stupid
fix that.
fucking name. So then when they brought him in, when he got brought in by Killer Kowalski, they said, hey, you're a pretty good worker. And I guess Triple H had come up to them and said, hey, I was told that you guys are the guys to hang out with and ride with, because they said if you want to get anywhere, those guys have a lot of stroke with the office, so hang out with them. So they said, can you mind if I hang out with you guys, basically? Yeah. And they said, yeah, you can drive with us and come with us. So they did that because he didn't do pills or drink, and they all did.
You can drive.
He is the designated driver.
What a stroke of luck.
Right? If he did drugs and all that, he would not have any of this shit.
They were using him.
Yeah.
Even though he's good at what he's doing,
they liked him and
sure,
stuff,
kid,
but
and they throw him the keys.
Exactly. And he would also
beer, guys.
When they're all fucking soamed out and shit, he would help carry them in and fucking do everything. And he made sure they didn't get arrested or wander into traffic. He was their babysitter, basically.
So he feels like he's earned his role just because he did all that bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's paying your dues. I mean, that's what he did back in the day. They'd probably driving a bunch of veterans around. I'm sure he was carrying bags and doing all that kind of shit. But, in the end, he's the one fucking telling them what to do.
Bank account's very secure.
Yep. So they were very clean, though, because as we said, Triple H doesn't do shit except for obviously steroids and HGH.
Clearly,
and fucking monkey hormones or whatever the hell he's pumping into his body.
Who the fuck is used for a primate? He's eating it.
Who the fuck knows? But they were always at the gym and everything like that. And then they split up.
Okay.
And so things get a little bit different here, obviously, When they split up, by the way, here's a quote from Joanie about just basically life in general when people meet her at the time, and just kind of a basic overview of her thing. We'll do it in their own words here. We'll let Joanie
You gonna do it?
Say it for herself. Yeah, we'll do it. In their own masculine words. Quote, I know. I'm not going to do her voice. I know. Couldn't do it.
That would be horrific.
That's so mean. Start over.
Yeah.
In their own words, quote, I know it, but you know it's funny because if you met me right now, the first thing everybody says to me is, oh, you're not so big, or gee, you're really pretty, or oh my gosh, I think it's easy just to see something on TV, and I think when people meet me, they expect to see some 300-pound gorilla or something, I don't know, but they still want to arm wrestle with me just to see.
They all want to,
Yeah,
I want
bunch of guys.
I want arm wrestlers, shit.
She would have won.
Yeah.
That's a break my arm, Joanie.
See how fast it.
I want to see how long I can go. I want to see if over the top really
throw
works.
me while you just stand still.
So she wanted to soften her appearance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when she took some time off in 1999. And this is when she came back. Holy
Hot
shit.
as
Completely
fuck.
different person. She got boobs,
Yeah,
number one.
Yeah.
She popped some tits on.
And it's
She got-
crazy, too, because they look incredible. They're like very
Fake,
well
yeah.
done.
Yeah, I would hope she'd go to a decent fucking doctor. She's on
she got a
TV
good one.
every week. I bet sure she went to a great doctor. I mean, the WWE, I'm sure, had a guy because all those
But I mean,
girls have tits.
some
None
of
them
those girls'
have
fake
real
tits look goddamn off. They
They look. Stables look
grapefruit.
stupid.
Yeah,
Stables
they're
look
dumb.
fucking
They're
stupid.
not
I hate
good.
that shit. Yeah, that
But hers, Joni's are very well done.
They were well done. She also got a nose job and had her jaw broken and shaved down.
Holy fuck, really?
Yeah, that's not easy to do, what she had done to her face.
Oh,
man.
my God.
She really, really, really wanted to look different. And that takes a lot.
What's
That's
more
rough.
heartbreaking? Jesus.
But now she has a completely different avenue. Now she's not just this, she can play a whole different thing. So now she's doing her wrestling during the day, and then, she's doing like shoots for magazines and shit where she's got like lipstick on and stuff and shit that she never did before. 'Cause
Very
she was thought
feminine.
of
Yeah.
very feminine stuff here. So yeah, she loved it though. She felt like this is her calling. She found her spot, you know what I mean? And this is great. So she did all sorts of shit here. People like her, but I don't know if they trust
Fans?
her. I don't know if they trust her as far as they think she's a
in the
fuck up
business?
for some
Yeah.
reason. Yeah, even then. And I don't know if Triple H contributed to that. I'm not sure how that works, but doesn't matter. So I guess in 1999, January 27th of 99, she makes her acting debut.
Yeah?
On the Drew Carey show.
Is that right? What did she do there?
She's a female wrestler.
Okay, yeah.
She's
Good-
not just
good
like a
move.
fucking 7-Eleven
range.
clerk. You know?
The range on this girl.
On an episode called Rats, Kate's Dating a Wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is a Drew Carey show starring Drew Carey, obviously, in 1999. She also becomes the Intercontinental Champion at one point by beating Jeff Jarrett for the Intercontinental title. That
Very
cost Vince McMahon $300,000.
Really?
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett said every once in a while Vince would fuck up and mess up a contract.
Yeah.
That's how Lex Luger got to go to Nitro and be a big surprise because his contract had lapped and they were just on a handshake deal, which was dumb as fuck. And so that meant he could leave whenever he felt like it.
Yeah.
There's been a few of those where like something lapsed and Vince fucked up and, and this was one of them is they let Jeff Jarrett's contract lapse while he still had the Intercontinental title and he needed him to lose it at King of the Ring. And Jarrett said, fuck you, I'm not coming back. You can kiss my dick. My contract's up. I don't have to give you shit. Huh. And they said, well, we really need you. You're the champ. We need you to come drop the belt and do it to Chyna.
It'll cost $300,000.
And he said, you want me to lose to a woman, lose the belt to a woman in a place I don't even work anymore. $300,000 for one night. And he paid it. He had to.
Wow.
Same. He had to pay it.
Because what are you going to do in that moment?
Had to do it. He would already been advertised. They advertised him. They fucked up.
Oh, fuck.
That happened more than fucking once where he had to do that and had to pay. Ultimate Warrior held him up before a show.
Yeah.
He got fired for it, but he held him up before a show too.
Do you think
a pay-per-view?
I'll bet it's true. Do you think Vince ever, when these guys die, like fucking dances like
yes,
a jig?
I think he does it all the time.
Yeah, probably does, right?
Probably, absolutely. I'm sure he's saving a dime somewhere.
Yeah.
Good. Now, if he goes into rehab, I don't have to pay for it. Like, yeah, I think he does. I really do. I think there's some guys he probably got along with that, but it was all about business. Yeah. He got along with the guys who made him the most money, period. They got along based on their mutual love of money. Him and Hulk Hogan were like that.
The resort right by my house is where Ultimate Warrior dropped dead in the parking lot, and I drive by it all the time, and I think about it. And my kids, every time I tell my kids every time, like that old man.
And I think about
it. like that old man that's driving the car. That's where I met your grandma. And they're like, we know, Grandpa. You told us.
We don't know who Ultimate Warrior is.
Who the fuck is Ultimate Warrior?
That's what they're saying.
He doesn't exist. He died right there.
He's right there. You'd know him if you were my age, but you're not. Oh, man, that's fucking funny, man. So there you go. She's a champ. I mean, the first Intercontinental champion who's a woman, like won a men's title. She wasn't in she wasn't in the diva class or the women's division. Right. She was just in with the guys. That was it, which is honestly a little bit hard, I would think. So then she does some acting as well. Again, here, this is January 31st, 1999, a show called Beggars and Choosers.
Oh, these aren't even anything.
I don't know that. I mean, Drew Carey show was a big show for a long time.
But this isn't like she's the star of the show.
No. She's doing guest spots on shows. Whenever they need some big giant woman to whatever, she does
some
that.
Sort of Amazon to exploit her size.
Beggars and Choosers is the amusing trials of the executive staff of a television network. Interesting. Brandon Tartikoff created it, the former head of NBC who died of cancer. Brian Kerwin stars in it. Charlotte Ross. Okay. I see the picture of like the cast, and they all I know her.
Yeah.
I know that one. Yeah, she was in stuff, and I know that guy. Yeah, he was in something. It's one of those. She's in one episode called Unsafe Sex.
Okay, so
where I assume she pins someone down and rapes them. Yeah. So anyway, she's back to wrestling here. Like I said, first she had a match against Jarrett, which she lost for the Intercontinental title, but she beat him. That was the $300,000 thing. Was it King of the Ring? Where the hell was it? I don't remember. But either way, his contract had expired on October 16th, and he was not contractually obligated, but WWF would have false advertised him otherwise, so they just did it. They just fucking did it. Chyna then feuded with Chris Jericho after he came over from WCW. She beat him at the Survivor Series.
Wow.
But then lost the title to him at another pay-per-view. So interesting. But that was like a long feud. They had another match in December. I mean, it was a big fucking deal. At the Royal Rumble, Jericho and Chyna defended the title here. I guess they win tag team championships. Oh, in a triple threat match. What a fucking weird fucking thing here. Oh, that's right. They had that weird finish. Oh, that's right. Okay. Her and Jericho had a weird finish where they fucking like pinned each other. One of those where they were their shoulders were on the ground.
Okay.
So they became co-champions.
What the fuck?
That's how they did it. They made them co-champions. That's interesting here. Now, 2000 is when the Triple H shit started to die off. 2000. And it's funny because apparently a lot of people say that they just wanted different futures.
Yeah.
That Triple H wanted kids. He wanted a family and kids and all that kind of thing. And she didn't want family and kids and all that. Just had no interest in it.
Yeah.
Didn't want them. And also, it's been said that she was jealous that he would spend time with his family on the days that he had off, and not her.
So he has kids elsewhere.
No. His family, like his parents,
his mom and his dad,
brothers and sisters, or whatever the fuck.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, that's
weird.
That is weird.
Who the fuck would be jealous of that?
That's very strange. So that's what I mean. Well, someone who's not very secure.
Or somebody whose dad put them in $40,000 worth of debt before they were 18.
Or that. Yeah. So she said that she sensed that Triple H was kind of getting closer to Stephanie McMahon, and she told numerous friends that she searched his briefcase, probably a Halliburton, one of those metal ones they used to carry, and discovered a love letter from Stephanie.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. That's how that goes.
That shit.
He kept it, I guess. And Kathy, the sister, Joanie's sister, said they wouldn't have lasted whether Stephanie came into the picture or not. She said, I have no animosity toward Paul. He was very good to Joanie. He cared about her deeply, but she just had too many issues. Still, I really do think Paul was the only man she ever truly loved. She was devastated. So, yeah, that's tough on her. And if they wanted different things, they want different things. If you start out and, hey, we're both in wrestling and we're both in the same angles and this is all real convenient, but then a few years go by and you're pushing 30 and you go,
things got to change. Yeah.
I kind of want to do this with my life and I'd like this to be my future. And she's like, fuck no. It's tough. But he could have broke up with her before he started.
Sure could have, yeah.
Started doing that. Also in 2000, she appears on MTV Cribs.
What?
I don't know. That's what? Now we. By the way, now we know none of those are those people's real houses.
Yeah, they all
by the
rented them or borrowed it from a friend or whatever.
MTV would. I found out that when they would like book you on the show, they'd be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We'll rent you a house and we'll have. They would rent a house. They would have, rent furniture. All that shit was all fake shit for the most part. Every once in a while, it would be somebody's real house if they actually had a house like that. But most people didn't have houses like that.
Yeah.
That was the thing. Like, I think Carmelo Anthony's was really his. Yeah. Because it had all like his shoe collection.
Andre 3000's had to be his. That was fucking weird. Yeah.
Redman was really his.
Yeah. Is that apartment that was dirty?
That shit little raised ranch, like 2-bedroom house.
Yeah.
There's a famous story about him talking about, MTV approached him. He was like, yeah, shit, I'll do that. And they were like, all right, we're going to rent you this house. And he was like, fuck that. He goes,
come
to
my house.
He said, make that shit real. He goes, come to my crib where I chill. And he said, get the fuck. So
come to Newark.
Yeah, come to my house that I'll fucking hang out. He goes, that shit was real. I was being fucking honest. And he goes, yeah, I fucked some shit up to make it worse.
Yeah.
I tried to make it as bad as possible. Yeah. He tried to make it as bad as possible, but he said, otherwise, that's how I was living. What the fuck you want?
I love it.
Because everybody else was full of shit with that.
Yeah.
And his is the most famous fucking episode because of it.
It's really good.
It's really good.
It's very funny. Because he's a funny guy. He's fucking great. God, I love that guy.
Fuck yeah.
God, he's amazing. And do you know what he's doing today, James? Jumping out of fucking airplanes for no reason at all. That's what he does. That man is a skydiver now. Isn't that weird? He's in his 50s.
Wow.
I don't know. He just loves it. And he does like backflips and spins and all this weird shit in the air.
He took that how high shit too seriously.
Yeah, he's real fucking high.
You're too high. That's too high.
I'll come down. Don't worry. I'll come down.
We finally found the point where you're too high. It's just too high. Sorry.
He's opening doors and jumping out because you guys told him he's too high.
Crazy, man.
It's wild, man. He's
the
great.
shit. He's such a fucking funny rapper.
Yes.
His shit, like, he had the example of, like, you can have tough shit, you can have hard shit, you could be hilarious in the next line, you could be whatever the fuck you want to be in hip hop, and that was.
And he's probably one of the scariest rappers because his mood swings in a song are like,
great.
Oh my God, I don't know what to expect. This guy's a fucking animal.
Why he's fucking hilarious. But he was one of the first.
Killer.
He was one of the first guys that could be funny but wasn't considered goofy.
Yeah, right.
Or wasn't corny or anything
wasn't corny
shit like that.
Right.
He was just fucking funny, man. His shit was hilarious.
Fuck, he was great. He was
one
of the first ones that discovered that punchlines are a thing in rap, that you can make lines be funny and threatening, and you can make fun of somebody all at the same time.
All at the same time. Not just mean, but funny too.
Yeah, so great.
So also on that show, Tony Hawk and Usher. If that's the weirdest trio you've ever heard of.
Yeah. Redman, Tony Hawk, Usher. All right.
Picture a threesome between between Tony Hawk, Usher, and Chyna.
It was Chyna's show.
Yeah, Chyna's show.
Holy shit. Yeah, that's
Chyna, Tony Hawk, and Usher in the same show. That'd be the weirdest threesome of all time.
She'd break one off for sure.
Usher just bouncing around all over the place on top of her.
Running away.
Running away. March 19th, 2000, she's on an episode of Pacific Blue.
Yeah?
Remember that? Remember Pacific Blue? I never watched it. Yeah, I remember the commercials. It was on like USA Network, and it was like a bunch of like beach bike cops. bicycle beach cops. Remember that?
Jesus, no,
They'd show the commercial and they'd show like these people like riding
taking it serious,
riding their fucking mountain bikes all fast, chasing a suspect. It's like, who the fuck is watching this?
The only way to make a bike cop interesting is to do it as like Lieutenant Dangle. Otherwise,
That's
it's
it,
not.
yeah.
I don't want to see it.
No, they put them on the beach, so they were like, it's at the beach, so people will be in bathing suits, so it'll be like sexy. No. It's USA Network. What are you talking about?
I don't care about this. I don't want to see Law and Order on
No.
bicycles at the beach.
God, it was so cheesy, all those USA shows. She played a character named Tanya Sweet. So this is the first time she's not just jacked up woman as her character. Right. She's actually got a person she's playing, a human being. In 2000, that is when she appears on the Howard Stern show, unfortunately for her. She claimed later that she, quote, made an ass out of herself. She did, yeah. Which appearance was that? Because she's on
so many times
a lot
on that show. Yeah.
And
every time it seems like she was coming in to defend herself, because Howard would find something in the news and talk about her, and then she'd write a book or have something to promote, and she'd come in to promote that and defend herself at the same time. And it's impossible to do both.
Or just to make rape accusations against her ex-boyfriend. One of the two.
I don't think it was this one.
No, it wasn't. No, that was way later. That was way fucking later, because that was a big deal. We'll talk about that shit in part 2.
Oh, boy.
Big time, because, there was some kind of weird stuff
Wild
there.
shit, she said, yeah.
So April 12th, 2000, here's an article about her, and it says, this is the weirdest thing ever, WWE delivers new attitude to post office.
What?
Yeah, apparently there are fucking...
stamps?
Yeah, but it's not real.
Oh.
It says China scares off U.S. Post Office, Liberia not afraid. And it's got a bunch of stamps. I'll show it to you. A bunch of stamps that say they're Liberia stamps.
Okay.
It's just a merch thing. Each stamp features China's signature. Yeah. So it's just out of the catalog here. Okay. And then they write an article like it's real, though.
Oh. All right.
They say Monrovia, Liberia. It seems all hell broke loose in the once tame world of stamp collecting when the country of Liberia issued 9 official postage stamps featuring the World Wrestling Federation's sultry diva Chyna. While no serious injuries have been reported yet, one overwhelmed postal worker was heard screaming, "These fans are nuts, somebody help me." Yeah, okay. Ridiculous. Yeah.
She's
See
got
what I mean?
Kiss makeup on one of them. It's very, very strange.
It's very fucking stupid, and this article is really fucking stupid, honestly.
Is it just like drumming up, like trying to get press on, just to get her name in the press? Is that what they're saying?
No. It's merch.
Okay.
This is from their merch catalog. I think.
Come buy our stamps of China.
They're available for a limited time for just $9.95 plus $3 shipping and handling.
$1 a piece.
$1 a piece for those bad boys. Man, April 21st, 2000. This is USA Today.
Oh.
So if anyone was sleeping in a hotel, they read this in 2000.
or if you had a class and they forced you to read the paper.
That too. Shit USA Today. And the headline is China not fragile about acting goals.
Okay.
And they said the 9th wonder of the world is ready to take the acting world. Or tackle, not take. Joanie Laurer, better known as World Wrestling Federation superstar Chyna, she of the body slams and headlocks, is moving beyond the ring to the soundstage, starring as a government operative in UPN's Alien Invasion. Okay. She also guest stars in the May 23rd season finale of NBC's Third Rock from the Sun as girlfriend of Alien Harry, French Stewart.
Really?
Yes.
French Stewart dated her on the show? That's awesome.
That's a funny
I'd love to see that
combination.
episode. Hell yeah.
In Alien, she plays a security chief for a covert defense agency out to prove that an alien invasion is phony.
Okay.
She says, quote, "It was fun. Big role I fit into as Chyna the actress, not Chyna the wrestler. I felt really natural doing it and had a lot of fun." Well, when you're doing it, don't use your wrestler name then.
Yeah, do it as Joanie. Or
Joanie the actress, not Chyna the wrestler. Yeah, it's just a character name. Though Chyna spends most days on the road wrestling, seen Mondays on USA Network, she was in L.A. recently to attend WrestleMania and talk up her acting gig, a longtime goal finally realized. As a young girl in Rochester, New York, she wanted to be an actress, but her size was a problem. A workout enthusiast, she found few takers as her arms grew huge, so she turned to wrestling. It was natural because you have your physicality and you have your entertainment. I saw myself as the first woman ass kicker, she says.
Yeah.
Still, she had to fight her way into the nearly all-male profession, except for the lovelies who serve as eye candy, in parentheses. She convinced the World Wrestling Federation that fans would eat up the idea of seeing a wrestling goddess. If you're not a wrestling fan, this is her talking, if you're not a wrestling fan and you turned on the TV and saw this woman beating up this man, and this man fought back against her, you would say, that's horrible. How can somebody do that? But if you're a fan and you've watched and you understand what it's all about, you'd realize that no woman has ever done this before. She goes out and fights and takes on other athletes and beats them up, and she can take it, and that's empowering. I don't know who that quote is from, by the way.
I don't know.
That last part doesn't say.
I guess it's empowering, especially if you're a woman that's getting knocked around at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You can fight back.
A fan website says she weighs 205 pounds and stands 5'10". She corrects a reporter and says she's down to 192.
Okay.
So the reporter
She doesn't want anybody to think she's fat.
No, but the reporter's 6'2", 194, and he said, "Well, I'm bigger than you."
Oh,
so you're not 6'2".
Don't go saying that shit.
I mean, what the fuck? Yeah. She said, "But you know I can whip your ass."
There you go.
And he said, "Are you threatening me?" And that's a joke. They were joking around. So anyway, like other wrestlers, The Rock, Mick Foley, Chyna is branching into books. She's working on one for Reagan Books and a fitness video. What else is next? She said, quote, "All of my opponents are men, and that has allowed the TV world to see what my original dream was. What was originally such a detriment is now a unique thing that makes you in demand. In the acting world, it's opened up a lot of doors for me. My agenda is not to leave wrestling, but as great as it is to be there, I'm also limited. Fans like to see me, but I can't beat up all the guys, and I don't ever see myself being the world champion. I'm open to movies, TV, all of it."
Hell yeah.
She's starting to be like move beyond this wrestling thing into a bigger deal. So in 2000, more acting here. She goes on Third Rock from the Sun, where she's in 3 episodes that season. She had a little arc.
She had a little arc with French. That's great. I want to see that now.
Yep.
I'm gonna find
season
them.
5, episode 14, and then season 5, episodes 21 and 22.
How about it?
Fucking interesting. September 19th, 2000 here. This is after she has posed for Playboy, but before it's come out.
Okay.
So we all know she has posed, but nothing, it hasn't come out yet. So September 19th, 2000, this is from, and the headline is Chyna proud to have posed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says World Wrestling Federation superstar Chyna says she's proud of her photo spread in the November issue of Playboy. She said, quote, "A body like mine has been rejected for so many years." She said, "Not the ideal beauty, ugly, masculine, but doing Playboy for me is the pinnacle, and I'm very proud." She said that this is fun. This is I can't help but laugh at this. Chyna says the Playboy spread is, quote, "not a sexual thing."
Oh, dear.
Why do you think men want to see your vagina? What do you think that's for?
Well, James, there's articles, and jokes and cartoons. And
then there's the pictures of naked women.
has nothing to do with it.
And the articles about, Netanyahu's fucking battle with something, that's a separate issue than her tits are out. That's way different.
Yeah.
Wow. It's not a sexual thing. It was, look at me, here I am. Now people love the body. It's about damn time. Okay. Yeah. Also, the WWE put out a workout video and that she was featured in as well that month. So she is killing it. At the same time, she's got a storyline becoming the on-screen girlfriend of Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
Neither of them had a good ending. Jesus.
No shit.
Yeah, where he would call her his mamacita, obviously. And that's what they did there. So, Chyna Fitness now we'll talk about a little bit, and Playboy and all that.
That's her angle now, is showing people how to work out.
I guess. Yeah, look at me. You can. If you're a woman,
you too can do this.
Yeah, back then, and you're thinking, oh man, you go, oh man, shit, look at her. She's out there body slamming dudes. I would think that would be something you'd be thinking about. So it's the headline is "The Real Chyna Revealed." Yeah, that's right. They said, making a promotional appearance for her Chyna fitness video at a Toronto area movie theater bookstore complex. She spoke to a group of over 200 fans and answered questions before signing copies of the video and Playboy. She seemed to appreciate the interaction with the fans. She said, quote, "It's great for me to see that because it always shows dedication of the fans. I feel like it's a wonderful point in my career. It's the best point you'll ever have, Chyna." That's the sad part. "I'm tickled pink that there's been so much interest in what I'm doing. I feel like I've delivered this great message to people, and it's very rewarding. I enjoy the work, but when it actually happens, people appreciate what you're doing and listen to what you're saying." Was that anything did she just say?
No, not really.
A jumble of just, I don't want to say anything committal about anything. So I guess she said she was part of the team that designed the 40-minute workout, which incorporates a variety of exercise techniques. She said, "Before I was ever a World Wrestling Federation superstar, that's what I did. I worked out, and that's become one of my part of my lifestyle and my job. Although I'm the only woman who wrestles with men, I've been able to hold my own and what we do is entertainment. However, I still get hit just as hard as the guys, and I have to be able to pick them up and throw them around and maintain the body of an elite female athlete. I think there are more and more women out there working out now, and we live in a fit society, and women aren't trying to look like Barbie anymore. They're trying to look like Chyna, and I think that's great." Okay. She said, "I think people recognize who I am in the athletic arena. I think that's wonderful, and I think that's because I wasn't okay with stereotypes. It's not okay to be told no, or you can't do that, or you shouldn't be strong, or you shouldn't be strong and beautiful, or you can't, or you shouldn't, or you won't." That's what she said.
Right.
She said also, "I think I was given a genetic gift to be 5'10" and have a big frame."
Yeah, because that frame does lend to looking taller because she's bigger. Yeah,
and her shoulders are just big. I mean,
they really are.
Most women, no matter what they do, can't look like that because their body is just
tough,
not. They don't have the frame for that shit. And you got to have a strong enough bone structure to support that kind of shit and everything else. So yeah, she. That's what she's doing here. She says, that's interesting though. And I guess if you're a bigger woman though, you would go, hey, maybe I'll do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
She said, "I took it to a different level and developed the body of an elite female athlete. I put that at the forefront so people can really relate to that because there may be other women out there that want to look like I do, but they're ridiculed or they are been told that it's not okay or what society deems beautiful, or you should starve yourself and look like a beanpole with fake breasts because that's the only thing that's going to get you looked at. It's not true. You can be a big jacked up chick with fake breasts too and they'll look at you."
It's a fascinating thing that she just said because I don't think she did this with empowerment on her mind. I think she did this with revenge on her mind.
Yeah, with revenge
or career opportunity. Yeah,
and I want to eat better food and live in a nice place.
It just happens that it has worked out the opportunity for her to open the door to more money by telling women you too can do this.
Yeah, you too, so you should be my fan.
But I also did a lot of surgery to do this.
It's also this, wow. Let me break your jaw and shave it.
I've broken my jaw for this.
This is hardcore. So they asked her, do you consider yourself to be a role model? Mm-hmm. And she said, "I guess I really don't consider myself to be a role model. That was never my intention. I've done this for me.
Right.
And everything I've done has been for myself. I think by standing up for myself, it reaches so many other people, which then it becomes inspirational to them. I don't want people to be just like me, but I hope it does send a message to a lot of women out there. Be your own woman and don't listen to how someone else tells you how to be or how society tells you how to be. There's so much potential locked up in our women, and I think it's not used because it's crushed down. And I think people consider me a role model, but I don't claim to be.
Yeah. Don't be like me. Be the best you, and that's what I'm doing is being
that's
the
what
best
I'm doing.
Me.
Yeah, I'm a big bitch, and I'm being the best big bitch I can, and you do whatever you are.
And I broke my jaw for this.
I broke my jaw for this. So they said, you've just finished the final draft of your autobiography, and she said that's been one of her greatest accomplishments.
Yeah?
She said, "I think this is probably one of my most rewarding, fascinating things that I've done so far. Most celebrities, when they describe their memoirs, and this is not a sports memoir, really don't take off the mask and really only tell the people what they want them to know and see. I think I took that mask off and told people a detailed description of my life. Yeah. It was important to me, being a person that goes out and displays these messages. I think it was important for me to be candid and honest about who I am and what happened to me and why I chose this path. And she says that the book will also make people laugh.
Really?
She said it's written in an extremely funny way.
Oh,
really?
What is it?
Wow.
Is it an audio book so we get to hear your voice?
Yeah, that would be hilarious. I'm sure there is like an old book on tape out there
gotta
too.
Be one, yeah.
She said, that's a lot of Joanie. That's my personality, which is great. Chyna's kind of stiff. Joanie's really funny. The book is funny, and you're going to chuckle all the way through. It's a very powerful book.
Oh, boy.
Her ego's getting wild right now.
It's really, yeah. She's got to calm down. She's
described
just the beginning is great. It's very, you can be humble and say, look, I came from fucking nothing, and I'm being the best me. You too can do it. Don't fucking make it more.
You're going to chuckle, and it's powerful is like, calm down.
Joanie's funny. Chyna's tough.
Jesus Christ. Oh, man. So she says also she doesn't want to discuss, because they ask her about Triple H and their relationship. She's like, I don't want to talk about that. She said, I think it's funny that people bring that up. I, most of the time, try to keep that personal. Most people, because of what they watch on TV, have already determined that we've broken up or got back together or that we're married or engaged. None of that's ever been discussed, so I don't discuss it. I guess people have their own perceptions of what's going on.
Okay, but do you have a dick?
That's what they want to know. Well,
did you peg Triple H?
Did he like it? But then they talk about Playboy, where we definitely know she doesn't.
No,
and
she
they
does
said,
not have a dick.
She said, I think it gave Playboy and myself a unique opportunity to do something special. Not only is having Chyna on the cover of Playboy something special, now she's third-personing herself. She's Ricky Henderson now.
Yep.
But it's also very important, a very powerful statement. I think it's something that people aren't used to seeing. The curiosity level was there. The fan base was there. The years of dedication and hard work on my body were there. And that's a powerful combination. I think it's an irreplaceable combination that made this issue very attractive to most people.
Okay.
Joanie. Whoa.
At this point, too, there was like a badge of honor for like the most famous woman to like get her Playboy spread. This was like a big deal for a lot of women for a very long time. And,
yeah.
So being on the cover and being in it it's a badge of honor to be
it's a big
girl
deal.
That's featured in this. It's a big deal for her.
You can just hear her.
Oh, it's oozing.
Her ego growing and growing and growing.
Mm.
Yeah, and they said, well, how was the photo shoot? And she said it felt wonderful. Yeah. I was not apprehensive about taking off my clothing. I'm very proud of that, and I think it's about darn tootin' time here that we show something like that.
Good time.
God darn it. Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it all the heck. I didn't do this as a sexual thing. I did it because I think my body is beautiful and it's a piece of art. That's how I think it was shown, in the most incredible strength and sexuality and people jerking off to you. Yeah. What are you talking about?
I got news for you, Joanie. I watched it, looked at it, and loved it, and maybe I've done dirty things to myself.
There you go. Porn was harder to come by back then, so this is what we had. Let's be realistic. You had to rent or buy it. There was no...
or get a subscription under somebody else's name that was old enough to get it.
Living 25 years ago is like living in the South now. You know what I mean?
It was very tough.
Tough.
Pornhub didn't exist. Well, just like Arkansas right now.
Yep, you guys asked for that shit. That's what you wanted.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy, cocksuckers.
You begged for it.
So, she said, she went on to say, I really wondered at first whether people would say she sold out. That's not what it is. I'm a woman and I have strength and sexuality, and showed a very feminine side of myself. I haven't gotten one negative comment about it. Who the hell's going to give you a negative comment? You're terrifying. Let's just say I'm pleasantly surprised. I don't like your tits. Pow! Ow! I'm sorry.
How dare you force me to look at your tits when I paid $18.99 for it, or whatever the fuck that magazine cost.
Fucking a lot. So Chyna said she does not want to be thought of as a bodybuilder, though. That's not what she is.
Really?
Because a bodybuilder is very specific to being big.
A bodybuilder is that girl in the American flag bikini.
Yes,
and
that's
what
a bodybuilder.
she is now is not that.
She said most of the time I think bodybuilders are unhealthy people. There's a lot of drug use and different weights during the year. I'm lumped in with all of them all the time, and that's not the case. I think I'm fit and healthy and sculpted my body the way I want to look.
Great.
Oh, boy, good for you. So, 2000, November, Playboy hits the newsstands.
Here we go.
Oh, baby. Absolutely. Big deal here when this comes out. And she says that I was not uncomfortable, but I didn't expect it, meaning the Playboy offer to begin with. Or the Playboy thing to happen. She said, first of all, I think that people are under the assumption that Playboy came knocking to WWF's door. They did not.
Really?
I went and approached Hugh Hefner and told him I wanted to pose because I felt that female athletes are beautiful.
Okay.
I think we're healthy, and I think that that's something we need to start portraying out there to teenagers. I truly believe, without getting deep here, that athletics saved me from venturing maybe into a drug world or sex or identity crisis when you're 16 or 17 years old, and it was athletics for me. I look around and see a lot of underfed women who I think we portray as the most beautiful women and what we strive to look like and what we think is beautiful, especially in a magazine that's a premier men's magazine like Playboy. So I said, I'm just the next thing. I'm going to go show these people that I'm going to make my mark on Playboy magazine, and 2, I wanted to, you have to be really careful that when I'm on TV and 22 million people are watching me every week with a starch look on my face, kicking guys in the nuts, it tends to stereotype you a little bit. So I wanted to show a part of Joanie, and that was a lady with muscle and a very feminine side of myself. Show some sexuality and show some femininity, and that was what my goal, and I give kudos to Hugh Hefner for taking a chance, and look what happened. They did surprise me, and I think no doubt it's a tribute to the World Wrestling Federation for the extreme promotion and the vehicle that I had behind me. But I don't think one of the other women, I think that's proven we've had the same success, because I think there was really meaning behind that, and the majority of the fans who came out for signings, I'd say 40% were women. Doctors and lawyers and adult women who are not wrestling fans, but that I relate to you, Joanie, and we're proud of you. Okay.
Sable was in Playboy in 99.
Yeah, before her.
They knew very well. They were very well aware that wrestling ladies have.
Absolutely. Yeah, Sable, and she got $1 million for that in 99.
Did she really?
She got $1 million.
It was a great spread because it was very
somebody
athletic
opened her paycheck
too. Yeah, that's good. Good for her.
Yeah, here's the Playboy.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's very good.
Oh, the cover's very good. Yeah, she's looking way less like muscly ripped.
Yeah,
in that.
They softened up her jaw a lot. They softened up her face. They make
her face looks completely different.
It's a different girl. Yeah,
it's a different
doll.
face. Yeah, she's definitely way different. It says WWF wrestling phenom Chyna nude, and then also other articles: sex and cinema. Russian babes never say yet. Russian chicks are easy is literally one of their fucking articles. That is amazing.
That's a great headline.
Ben Stiller, the Playboy interview.
Because everybody wants. We're looking at Chyna's tits. Oh, what's Ben Stiller
got to say about this? What you can learn in sex class and the Great Biker Murder Trial. Those are all your...
Okay. But tell me more about how Russian girls don't say no to anything.
Right? Tell me about Russian whores and naked wrestlers, please. Please tell me about those things.
I bet 12 people read that Ben Stiller interview after they were
like,
jerked off and ruined that magazine's pages.
This is when she's still wrestling. She actually began a feud with a woman, with Ivory, over the women's championship. And Ivory's also a big chick. Ivory she's in a bunch. She was like one of the original Glow women, like in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Like Ivory's been around a long time. She's on like a lot of the documentaries and stuff.
Yeah.
She's real well spoken, but she's real muscular, tough chick too. So yeah, they did all of this deal here. So they actually had her fighting a woman and everything. November 9th, 2000. The character of Chyna wasn't built in a day.
No.
An interview with her here in, what is this, the Richmond Times-Dispatch, but I think it's an AP article. So she said, I was portrayed as a freak. That's how Joanie Laurer describes her early days as Chyna. How far the WWF's Queen of the Ring has come. Jesus. Chyna, who like Triple H, trained under the legendary Killer Kowalski, entered Titanland. That's used to be Titan Sports, is the name of WWF's parent company there, in February 1997 with a determination to thrive in sports entertainment. Upon her arrival, she escorted Hunter Hearst Helmsley to the ring, acting as a bodyguard. The powerful woman was a unique heel who awed fans without saying a word or moving a muscle. So she says it means a uniqueness, and it actually means something special to me. She said, it's the strength I have, and my guys, Shawn Michaels and Triple H, named me the ninth wonder of the world. She said, I kept raising the bar every time I did something different like that. It was good, but you can't shove something down people's throats. I didn't talk on the microphone for 2 years. I didn't get in there and wrestle for a particular reason because people had never seen anything like me before. You just can't go in and beat everybody up. I would have been here and gone in 2 seconds, but we kept people wondering what I would do. And at first I would stand there, then I would move around. And when I moved, people wanted to see what I was going to do. And then when I hit somebody, people wanted to see what was going to happen after that. Then when I started doing matches, and it just grew up, and until people really began to accept Chyna as another wrestler. She said she's overcome stereotypes.
Sure.
She said there was no way, no how a guy was going to let me hit them, especially not a woman. She said, I think now it's different. The guys I work with, obviously, they want me to succeed, and they're so supportive to me. So it's really incredible, not only to rise in a completely male-dominated world, but then to turn it around and have them help me get there. That's special. It's not just you're a woman. If you're not over with the crowd, no one's going to sell for you. That's the way it works. Right. And guys forever won't fight smaller guys and sell for them. It's a big problem they had back in the day all the time. That guy's too small for me to sell for him. That's crazy. Sure. So, it was a normal thing at the time for people to not be leery about selling for people like that. So she says, I was actually supposed to win the title the month before, but it was going so well. People were liking me so much, they milked it for another month. It wouldn't have meant anything if they would have given me the title or if Jeff had walked out and left it there. After all, I had to win it from him. Like that, you won anything. She said, they said, are you going to be the world champion? And she said, no, I'm not going to say that I'm in Rocky's caliber, meaning fucking The Rock, because it's different. I don't do what Rocky does, and I couldn't do what Rocky does, but he couldn't pose nude for Playboy, could he? So it's different.
No,
fair enough.
You'd have to do it for Playgirl.
That would be a totally different magazine.
Yeah.
And then another article here, she's talking about her future aspirations. She said, I would like to be the next Terminator 3. She wants to be the next Terminator. She wants the next Terminator. This is before T3 came out, so she wants the next Terminator to be a woman and it be her. Okay. I would like to do a feature film with a credible female action hero in it. Me. Make me an action hero, she's saying. Again, they put a woman in a movie, they try to make her look big, and they try to make her look tough, but she's not. And then here I am, larger than life in the flesh, and people see me and they go, "Oh God, no, we can't use you." That's when I go out there and do all this stuff, and then people start going, "Oh my God, there she is." Before it was, she's horrible, and now it's she's the only one. We've got to get her. That's great, but I do plan to do a feature film. Well, she said, They said, "Are you going to leave the WWF for a movie career?"
What are you going to do?
She said, "The thing for me, I'm a breakout star in the World Wrestling Federation, and I love what I do, and I'm not looking to make a lateral move just to do something. I'm happy here. I don't want to go anywhere else. But if it's a great feature film that comes up, I will do the feature film as Chyna and love doing it and come back right here and continue on my merry way."
Great.
That's wonderful. So they go on. They're talking about all this shit. They said her feelings when Triple H won the title, I was thrilled for him. The chances we'll ever see her and Triple H walking to the ring together. And she said, I don't know. On one hand, if I was to go out with Triple H, then I would be under his wing again. First, I didn't know if I wanted to leave the nest because I was scared of doing things on my own. But now I like that, and I like working with different people, so I don't know if it's necessarily what I want. So she's trying to be her own thing now.
Yeah.
2001, she is in, is this a movie? Or what the fuck is this? Oh, it's a TV show. Gary and Mike.
Oh.
It's a TV show. It looks to be animated. Not animated, like claymation.
Oh.
Looks like the story of two 20-something best friends on a road trip across America with no particular place to go. That was a television show that was on.
TV
the
show
claymation.
nothing, James.
I would say so. Gary and Mike, the 13 episodes, starred Harlan Williams.
There you go.
There you go. So they just did a stoner voice the whole time.
Yeah. Well, they got Harlan because Harlan had some heat. God damn.
Oh, yeah, it was after Half-Baked and all that. Oh, Bryan Cranston was in this for 8 episodes as well. Jesus Christ.
This is a big deal.
Thomas Hayden Church was in it.
Oh, my.
Oh, Kurtwood Smith, I know that guy. I've seen him. Ahmed Zhao. Both the Zappa boys are in it as well. Stacy Keach and Tim Curry were in it at some point.
Okay, it's a big deal.
It wasn't. It was got canceled real fast. But
really?
still,
that's too
bad. She was in season 1, episode 4, Road Rage. She's a voice acting there.
Right. Beat somebody up on the road. Okay.
Yeah. So January 30th, 2001, her autobiography comes out.
Yeah.
And it's called If They Only Knew.
Yep.
Now, right now, it was widely panned, by the way, as being a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
Just a lot of bullshit and a lot of self-serving shit and a lot of everybody said there was a lot of lies in there and stuff like that. Right now it's on Amazon for $16.72 for a hardcover. It has 4.5 stars out of 193 ratings on Amazon.
Wow.
But on Goodreads, out of 834 ratings, so way, way more, it only has a 3.3.
Uh-oh.
Not great here. They said Chyna, AKA Joanie Laurer, lets us in what it's like to live your dream and overcome your nightmares. Complete with insights from other WWE superstars. It's a must-read for any fan of the WWF or for anyone who wants to see how a real-life hero overcame diversity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. There we go. So, August 26, 2001, Celebrity Deathmatch.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Claymation.
A kid with that. Claymation. She's going, I'm going all claymation from now on. Next up, man, this looks bad. Holy shit. Is this starring Olive in Sync?
What?
A movie called On the Line, which, dude, look at the cover. It is Lance Bass reading a fucking paper.
What is this?
And then that's another In Sync person there. And then that's that one chick that goes, oh, no, hell no, he didn't. There's that chick.
And there's a black guy and there's a very goofy white guy in the back. This says bad.
Lance Bass, Joey Fatone starring.
It's really them.
It's really them.
Oh,
she's
my God.
1 in a million. His chances of finding her again are 1,000,000 to 1.
Somebody is looking for Joni or some other.
No,
he's looking for somebody age appropriate.
Yeah. She's probably a bounty hunter or something.
Yep.
She shows
She's a
up
bouncer
like
in a bar that's throwing him out while he's trying to chase this girl.
Or a private investigator will track down anybody.
A bounty hunter.
The plot line is a shy advertising employee meets his dream girl on the L train, but doesn't remember to get her phone number, resulting in an all-out search for the mystery girl.
You don't understand, James. In Sync is huge. We have to make movies and legitimize these boys.
So let's take the only gay one and make him find a girl.
Chase a girl.
The rest of them are all straight. Let's find the gay one and make him chase the girl.
Yeah. Well, we can't afford Timberlake, so we got to get the gay one.
We get him. Lance, who's the least expensive? Lance and Joey? Great. Bring him in.
The one whose last name is literally Fat One, let's get him.
Let's get him.
And the gay one. Is his last name Gayoni? Let's get him.
Let's get Gayoni in there.
Gayoni and Fatone.
Oh, man. Other Jerry Stiller's in this?
Oh, my God.
This is fucking great.
Why did he need work so bad?
Paycheck. Al Green, fucking Al Green, the singer, is in this.
The real Al Green.
As himself. Richie Sambora's in this,
Why?
the Bon Jovi's guitar player. He plays an actual character, too. He's not even himself.
Ah, Jesus.
Very weird. Dave Foley's in this as well.
Who's
Dave Foley? The comedic actor, news radio.
Oh, what?
Shit.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Dave Foley.
Why is he in this?
I don't know.
Why do all these people need work so bad?
Don't know. I think the small roles, it's just a day or two. You get a paycheck. I think,
and they probably sold it. It's the kids from NSYNC. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, but you never know. The kid's a whole new audience for you. She played a female hand wrestler.
Oh, Jesus.
Like a thumb wrestler? That's fucking weird. In 2001, she's a guest on the special celebrity edition of Fear Factor.
Oh, fuck.
Where she lost the final round of competition to Coolio, which is
oh my God.
just a very weird sentence to say. that anyone lost a competition to Coolio.
Well, they might be discussing it at this moment.
Holy balls. This is fucking funny. This is the thing. We haven't even hit Grace yet. This episode's about over. We're going to have this two-parter is going to be like things are good, things are bad. Those are the two parts.
It's crazy, too, because she's had a great career, and it's in this bad spot right now.
Right now, it's in a great spot.
That's great. She's doing celebrity shit. Oh,
that's great back then, though. That's for
that's
a
true.
wrestler.
Yeah.
Wrestlers didn't act back then. The Rock was the first, and Hulk Hogan, everybody laughed at him when he was acting. You know what I mean?
And Fear Factor was this was primetime TV. This was a big deal to be on.
Yeah, and if you were on a celebrity something, that was for a wrestler. This was big shit. They did the Family Feuds and all that crap they used to do. October 15th, 2001, she is in an episode of a show called Tracker.
What?
Tracker. I don't know where the fuck this is. It's got a 6 out of 10 on IMDb. An extraterrestrial lawman hunts escaped alien convicts that have taken over human bodies in present-day Chicago.
Stop talking. She'll take it.
Wow. Yeah, I got it. Well, it sounds like They Live is what it sounds like, the Rowdy Piper movie, which is pretty funny.
She says yes to everything.
Anything. And in this movie are, Jesus, I don't even know who the fuck these people are.
Oh, boy.
Amy Price Francis?
Nope.
I don't know. Adrian Paul?
Nope.
I don't know any of these fucking people.
Oh, boy.
Christopher Bondi? Who the fuck is that? I don't know. She played Ree and was on 2 episodes.
Oh, it's a TV show.
It's a TV show. It ran for 22 episodes, apparently.
Wow.
But she's on 2 episodes, including the pilot. She was in the first episode here. So we'll end off with this. She was returning from a, quote, injury, which wasn't a real injury. She was just doing other shit. She won the women's championship from Ivory at WrestleMania 17, and what was basically a squash match because it was her versus a woman. So she defended her title against Lita in Judgment Day 2001, then vacated her title because that was her last match was with Lita here.
Really?
She leaves the WWF on November 30th, 2001, which is officially gone. She had not been on television for months. Wow. There's a lot of different accounts of what happened here. A lot of different accounts of what happened. I would say part of it was that Stephanie probably said, I don't really want her around anymore.
Yeah, tired of this. Yeah.
I don't know personally, but if I was Stephanie, I probably wouldn't want my boyfriend's ex-girlfriend who probably wants to kill me and weighs 210 pounds hanging around the locker room all the time. So, for years she told friends and reporters the company dumped her because of backstage tension with her and Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, but that's not actually the truth here. Apparently, in 2001, the WWE, this is her sister talking, say that the WWE offered Joanie here a new contract in the fall of 2001 for $400,000 a year.
Yeah.
As a base, and that's before you earn merch and shit to it in the WWF. So that could have been a lot more money.
That's good money.
She's selling tons of merch.
Yeah.
I mean, tons of shit. But she didn't want to sign it. Okay. And Jim Ross confirms that story, adding that the figure was just a downside guarantee and she could have made probably double that. Wow. For merchandise sales, pay-per-views, and everything else that's going on there.
Appearances, whatever.
But Joanie wouldn't accept an offer with a base salary of less than $1 million.
She wanted $1 million a year guaranteed.
She got a little bit too big for her britches here. And there's only a few people in the WWE who had contracts like that.
Yeah.
One of them was Big Show,
who
signed a 10-year deal at $1 million a year, which you don't want to sign for 10 years. And Big Show, let's face it, how many people on earth look like him?
And also, and today, who gives a fuck about him?
No, true. But I mean, he's got plenty of money.
Yeah.
Does well for himself. There was Big Show. They gave that money in like 98. They gave him that money. I mean, Steve Austin made more than that because he was the biggest money maker there. If he's on the pay-per-view, it's selling, shit like that. So Jim Ross says it was an outrageous demand that wasn't even realistic. You can't pay someone who's not a main event player that kind of money. You just can't. They said that he was hesitant, Jim Ross said, to negotiate with Joanie, but he said Vince McMahon wanted Chyna to remain with the company, and he was confident that the issues with his daughter and Paul wouldn't last. Everybody would get over it, and shit happens and they get over it. She'll find some other guy and it'll be fine.
And she'll start making money and move on. Yeah.
Yeah, and the sister here, this is Chyna's sister, Joanie's sister, Kathy, said she can't help but wonder how different everything would have turned out in her life if she would have just signed that contract.
Yeah.
Because that's when everything goes wrong.
That's the spiral.
Yeah, and her sister says, Joanie told me a few years later that she regretted it. The WWE was the only place where she was ever accepted. Once she lost that, she fell into a hole and she could never climb out of it. No, because there was also no structure.
Yeah.
One thing about wrestling is a lot of structure in terms of you're busy.
Yeah.
You got to be here. You got to be there. You got to be on a plane. You got to be there, make it this time. Everything is timed. You have to work out in the morning so your body is still feeling good. You have to eat at this
Once
time.
You're not doing that, it's just all bets are off.
You can kind of do whatever you want. It's a lot different. In an interview with the Baltimore Sun, Chyna indicated that the breakup with Triple H had nothing to do with her leaving the WWF. This is in 2002, stating that she left to pursue an acting career. At the time of her departure from WWF, Jim Ross, who was the executive vice president of talent relations at the time, so the guy she would deal with, reported it was mutually agreed to let her WWF contract expire in order to let her explore other career options.
Fuck, I wish he would have gotten a hold of her and really, really hammered. Look, lady, I'm not going to bullshit you. Just be honest with her. It's what seems like what she needed.
Look, exactly. Yeah. And I think her ego at that point was to the point where I don't think that would have flown. I think she would have been like, no one can talk to me like that.
Yeah, maybe.
But maybe Vince would have been the guy who could do it. I don't know. Just sit her down and go, look, I'm offering you 4 as a downside, but
you're not
going to make
this 8 anywhere else. Yeah.
And there is no other. This is after he bought WCW, so there is no other else. This is it.
There's nowhere else to go.
It's here or I don't know.
And you're going to make almost $1 million.
Yes,
nobody's making that kind of money at this year.
And that's why you're getting acting gigs, because people know who you are.
Right.
You're on television. Once you're off television for a while,
let us keep you relevant with a roof over your head. Stop being Just stop being stupid.
That's what I'm saying. Now, in 2015, Chyna did an interview with Vince Russo, saying that after a meeting with Vince McMahon about the Stephanie situation, she was sent home and later received a fax telling her that she was not needed anymore, even though her sister says, no, that's not what happened. In 2015, she's saying that. Kathy later reported, the sister, that she was offered a new contract with the $400,000 a year. And, so that was ridiculous. Ross confirmed that account, characterizing this as whatever else she said was ridiculous, basically. December 5th, 2001, we will we'll leave it there. Let's just leave it at that.
Let's
we'll
pause.
Leave off. We'll pause right there. She just left WWE.
She's fired.
That's the perfect time to fucking
She's
leave off.
Fired, quit. She's quit fired.
She quit fired right there.
Damn.
So there you go, everybody. That is part 1 of Chyna, and then we will get into the rest of it. So it's just basically pre-bad, and then bad, and then it's going to be bad from here. So we'll talk all about that next time on Crime and Sports. But before we do that, definitely head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets for live shows for Small Town Murder 2025. February 7th, Pittsburgh. You're up next. Get your tickets right now. And then also Columbus the next night. Get those and get them for the rest of the year. That is going to be good shit. We can't wait. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Also, make sure to rate and review this show, whatever app you're on. It doesn't matter which one. It really, really helps the show a lot. So if you like the show, that's a great way to let the world know about it. Thank you so much for doing that. Another great way to do it is to subscribe to Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
Patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you get all of the bonus episodes. I mean, everything. The whole giant hundreds episodes deep back catalog immediately upon subscription. Anybody $5 a month or above. And then on top of that, you are also going to get new ones every other week, which, I mean, come on, you can't beat that shit, including this week, 1 Crime and Sports, 1 Small Town Murder, as always. And this week, what you're going to get for Crime and Sports, we're going to talk about a very recent, in the last 10 years, NFL player who's had a lot of violence going on around him and just finished up a murder trial as well. So we'll talk all about him. And then for Small Town Murder, we are going to finish up talking about the West Memphis 3 and how the hell this even happened. We started off, we left, just kind of leave it set the table nicely.
How do we put them in jail? And then now we got to move on.
Now we got to see how the hell do we even get these kids in here and decide they're the ones. So we'll talk all about that. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. And you get a shout out at the end of the show, which is right fucking now. Jimmie, hit me with the names of the most wonderful goddamn people who would definitely give us $400,000 a year on a downside guarantee. Hit me with them right fucking now.
This week's executive producers are Neil and Gretchen Jones. Holy
Thank you,
shit.
Joneses.
You're wonderful.
You're fantastic.
I can't say it enough. That's so kind of you.
No one's keeping up with you, Joneses. I'll tell you that right
keeping up with
now.
these Joneses. But these people are trying. Andrea Fellows, Jill King, Gary Howard, Meredith McClure, Kevin Brown, and Amanda Clayton. Thank you all very much.
Thanks,
for
guys.
going above and beyond. You didn't have to do that, and we really appreciate you.
Fuck
Other
yes, we
producers
do.
this week are Beth Buell, Janice Hill, Tiffany Gonzalez, Amanda Mason, Jesse with no last name, Courtney Dorr, Andy Cote, or just Cote, or maybe Cody, Kimberly Brown, V. Chobney, I believe. I don't know. Zachariah Ward, Celery Stock 13, Jesse Struthers, Hannah Franz maybe, Franz, Lisa, Bastus Check. Bastus Chick. Bastus Chick. Batus Chick? Is there 2 S's that are silent? We'll never know. Fast Frog 007, Prankster 03, Madeline Victoria, Tori Ludwig, Shari with no last name,
Hey.
Brittany Davidson, Billy Welch, Cody Bryant, Miss Taylor XO. Thank you, Miss Taylor. Caitlin Bear, yes. Natalie Arencibia. Thank you, Natalie. Ben with no last name. John Hollamby, Junan Hayes, Jacob Troublefield, Pam W, Casper the Spicy Ghost, Daniel Davis, Melissa Zenzen, Cassie with an ass, James, Griffin. I
She a
guess
friendly
that means
ghost,
she's not. She might be a spicy ghost. I imagine she's telling us that it's not Casey, but Cassie. I think that's what she was trying to help me with, but she's also got an ass. All right, Tim Dennis, Jenny with no last name, Tara Hodgson, Billy Lover, Michelle Bingham, Sabrina Snowden, Maria Tamanaka, Lazara, Jill Crouch, Jay with no last name. This show brought to you by the letter J. Karen Turner, Mandy Colvin, Devin Behringer, Sonia Aliaga, Kate Courtney, Derek Kitchen, Christina Franklin, Jennifer Newsom, Hunter Pickett, Aaron Lilly, Christina Marie, Corey Gaines. Ooh, boy. Wow, is that I wonder if he's trying to make me say something gross with that? I don't know. Sophia Kudik?
It helps. If you want to do that, get someone who's a real good reader, probably.
Sophia Kudike, she could be making me say something gross. I don't know.
You never know.
Taylor Kennedy, S.J., Nikki Young, Mams McGuire, Richard Lee, Jim McKee, Rachel Sanborn, Ray Early, Kim P. She's an LPN in Oklahoma. Casey with no last name. S and C, the letters. S.C. Stephen Charles Walter, Stacy Lee, Amanda Zeringer, Chocolate Diesel. All right, Crystal. Abby with no last name. Amanda Rodine, Ann Hank, Louise Rosalie, Gabrielle Smith, Asty, I don't know, Sean McCloskey, Todd Winiger, LR and H. LRH. I don't know what that is. Lauren Ray, Jim Montgomery, Lacey Fithian, Haley Henson, Dara Jordan, Maddie Brown, Lizzie with no last name, Tanya Knight, Mark Langworthy, Sinead Feeney, Carissa Tucker Ellis, Cindy Jensen, R. Brown, Charmaine Steves, Alec Cornelison, Amanda Thomas, Jennifer Bruno, Stephanie May, Giancarlo Ruffino. Look at me getting good with this Italian shit. Brooke Bullard.
Giancarlo would probably be best, but that's fine. He just pronounced it wrong and then said, look at me getting it right.
Did I say it wrong?
Giancarlo would probably be
Oh,
more
okay.
what it is.
Giancarlo
Well,
sounds
Giancarlo's
fucking great.
fine, but it's probably like a Giancarlo type of thing. Is what you'd call him in
Getting
America.
real good at this shit.
Yeah. Jimmy's got his fingers out. Jesus Christ.
Ian Ruggles, Evan Rude, Melissa Pevernoke, Pavornik. All right. Chase Parham. George B. Jesus Christ. Colleen Walsh. Laura Collins. Catherine with no last name. Kyrie Jensen. Winosaur. Very funny. Kate McD. Samantha Coleman. Tanya Martinez. Aaron Logan. Michael with no last name. Dustin.
Devolved.
Like, you're fucking just disapproval. Jimmie's got his fingers up. Jesus Christ.
I was cracking up. I love it.
Name.
Not disapproval. It's hilarious.
Nikola Jaworska. Kimberly Kunapfel. She may be trying to make me say something dirty. Matthew Marks, Mill Hollow Maple. Callie Swanson, Kenzie Money, Kimber Herzog. Aaron with no last name. Steve Richmond, Jill with no last name. Caitlin Allen, Mitch Hanlon, Eric, Gorgon Z. What? Did we just... The wrestler's last name was Gorgon? That is fucking crazy. All right, that's weird. Phoebe Cox.
Stay tuned.
That's bizarre, right? Elbow grease. All right, spelled like French elbow. That's why that's why you're ruining my life. Joy or Irwin. Alex Barlow, Kristen Canton, Cantin. Buffy and Chauncey Cote. Buffy, that's wild. Carrie Rahman, I didn't know that was actually somebody's name. Rahman, Brian Hoffman, Andrew Campbell, Desmona Shaw. Somebody just texted me and said they were sitting on a plane, James, with next to Ice-T and Coco and their kid. That man still flies fucking a regular commercial. It's bananas. Brian Hoffman, Andrew Campbell, Desmona Shaw. I said that. Quizzical Queen and Spikinger. Oh boy.
Sounds
Vicky Hay, Phil Barrera, Logan Armstrong, Beth with no last name, Nate with no last name, Eric Beacon, Roderick Rose, Brent with no last name, Chef Blake 1016, Holly Hagman, Leah Stenulson, yikes. Katie Tracy, Micah Tetrault, and all of our patrons. You guys are amazing.
Thank you, everybody, so much from the bottom of our fucking hearts.
It's unbelievable.
We appreciate all that you do for us and all you've done for us and all you'll hopefully continue to keep doing for us. Thank you.
Minutes out of every show for you.
God damn it, we love it. Thank you so much for doing that. Thanks for hanging out. Keep coming back with us. If you want to follow us on social media, shutupandgivememurder.com is the place to do it while you're getting your tickets there. So grab that. Come back, check out part 2 of Chyna next week, and live from the Crime and Sports Studios, we will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this white Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.